Hey y'all, welcome back to the Reality Kingdom where we put the real in
Oh man.
reality or whatever.
Here.
I am your host, Lee. We're
Yo.
joined by a interesting panel today. We got EZ, Lotto Door,
Yes.
Cross-Eyed Dave, and Dirty Drake. Now, I don't know
Mhm.
who a few of these people are necessarily, but hey, we're
What?
all here.
Who? I don't know who is Lee on the season. Who is an EZ on the season? Like, where are your names? Where's the creativeness?
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Like,
don't need the creativity.
I think we
I'm
Why
could
not?
have
I'm mother.
done for a little
I'm a
creativity.
brand.
I'm
I don't
mother.
need to be on somebody else's brand. I'm a brand in myself. So,
Period.
okay.
Period.
Excuse me.
Well, I steal brands, Dirty Drake. So, R.I.P.
Girl,
Yeah.
can we talk about how I won't say every international iteration, but usually the international iterations be eating up the American versions. Like BB
They
Canada
do.
was
yeah.
eating up American BB. For me, I haven't watched Survivor in a while, but the Survivor Australia versus the world eating down, Parvati getting another win, like it was just the girls were doing it. And then we get here and we get some of the best television you will ever get. Like, this is why
Incredible.
we watch Survivor.
Yeah.
And US just ain't doing it like that and haven't been for a while.
No, like it's electric. Like episode 5, like one of my favorites in this drop. Like that tribal council was so
Yes.
good. Like the dynamics of how it turned out was so good. The girls are not doing theatrics anymore. Like at the end of the day, I love a stunt queen. Give me the stunts in the shows. Give me reality TV. The moments that made us fall in love with this game. When Parley was pulling out idols, bitch, no shade. Even when that Russell man was pulling out idols and shit like that, and just like these moves that like were so iconic that you remember. Like the Kelly Wentworth does not count. Like the girls are not doing it like that. I mean, I think damn near has any idols worked in the new era? Like I can't remember an iconic
I,
idol play to save my life from the US version. But the Australian version, it just has so many elements in that the cast is just so dynamic. Like men and women, I feel like have the freedom to play this dominant game. We even see in Survivor US where it's like a lot of time women who play dominantly don't really get a chance to, I feel like, go far or succeed. Whereas it feels like Survivor Australia, you could be a dominant woman player and still go far, get to the end and things like that. Now, I don't know if you can win. I don't know my, history on the winners. Theodore, Drake, y'all can correct me. But I feel like you could be a strong dominant player in Survivor Australia versus Survivor US, where you have to be a little bit more demure to
Mhm.
win these days.
I mean, Dee and Savannah were pretty dominant. That's new
But
era.
that's 2 out of like how many?
Yeah.
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 I would say
And then
the.
we saw how Savannah just no shade.
Oh, she was good. She
I
was
mean,
we
good.
got Marianne and Erica too, but
I
and
think
Rachel.
Dominant. I
I
said
don't think
dominant.
that's
Yeah.
dominant.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I think
Because Easy love him
honestly,
for Marianne, child.
hon-
Easy gonna ride for Marianne.
Yes, you
honestly,
should.
it's
You
just
already
the
know, bro.
trend setting. The trend setting is what gets the show going. Like we have so many. Like just look at like Titans versus or I honestly it goes back to let's say even like Brains versus Brawn 1 with George. He I feel like set the tone for like the rest of these like newer era seasons where people are feeling like they want to do these like bigger like game plays. They want to play harder, more active. Like the people on the bottom end up playing like they also start like trying to play like Johnson on Barren Tribe. He's trying his hardest despite being on the bottom. Heck, even like Don, like sure he's a bit of a dud, but he's at least trying. Like he's getting into alliances. He's he has little thingy with the Johnson at tribal council where they keep looking at each other, like having fun with that. Like I love how active and dynamic like these casts have been recently. And the US, I feel like if we're being real, like I honestly think it's just they need a really chaotic cast for once. And then future casts will look at that and be like, okay, well, let's replicate that. Let me be the US version of Ferris. Let's be a US version of George. Let's be a US version of even Parvati when she played on Australia versus the World. Like, let's be that kind of person. So we need Survivor 15 needs to prove that. I think we might see that with like certain people on that we saw in episode
I
2
mean,
in that
Yeah,
season.
because
So
I loved what Devins and Christian did at the Tribal
yes, that's
Council. Like,
exactly what I was saying. I didn't want to
that is
spoil
what
it.
I want to see.
Well,
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Survivor 50 yet,
Well,
we're gonna talk about
y'all just said
shit,
some
no
names,
shade.
girl.
I
I would
mean,
say-
hey.
I would say the new era casting wise, I feel like there's a lot of players who can be dynamic or are willing to be dynamic, but this new era format of like 3 tribes and like all these twists and stuff they throw into you in the game that could ruin your whole game in one instant. A lot of players do play more reserved and like, okay, let me just get my group and stay with that group. And they're more scared to play dynamic because all of a sudden you can lose your vote by playing dice and you're out. You know, I feel like the new era format makes it seem like makes it for you have to be more that controlled.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. I think even when you see the twist and you compare the twist, I think the way that the Australian Survivors twist, I feel like they are more. It gives you more to play with. You know, we get this cool idol swap moment from the last drop where, you know, there's this intensity and like there's this tension. Even today when Aisha does her advantage, there's so many cool like cross tribal things that are going on where they're trying to keep, you know, reinventing the game, but also keeping it true to itself. It's not going too far out of what we know from Survivor. And I think that's also what is really benefiting. And the producers aren't shying away from it. I think also the editing is what's hindering the American version.
Yes.
It is.
I don't know. It's given National Geographic, and that's not what the fans want to see. I want to see cutthroat strategy. Like I am on the Rizzo timing. I don't want to see y'all building the forts and the fishing. I want to see y'all cutting each other's throats and backstabbing. And here we get so many moments where it's like pushed together where they're building the fire, but they're also like, so who are we going to vote out? And it's just so fun. There's a scramble. You feel like you're in it. You feel the tension. You feel the energy. Like it's just the production helps as well.
Also,
you all are clocking. So last night I was like, okay, I need to figure out what I want to say on this podcast about the two. So I was like, I'm gonna watch episode 6 of Australia right after Survivor 50 US back to back, so it's fresh. And a few things really stood out to me. One is they like embracing villainy, like embrace the villains. Like this dude Caleb is like crazy but cautious. Like we're not getting that. And they just cast a bunch of like ridiculous characters and people that want to play. And another big thing that stood out to me was the music. Like it's like the tribal councils, and when they're like scrambling and talking shit about each other before the vote, it's like it's giving like a thriller, like a murder mystery, right? It's like it's like Jaws, like like the shark is coming, you're in the water, your blood's spilling everywhere, right? And they're gonna get you. Like Jeff and okay, then the 2 tribes versus 3, obviously you all clocked it. But even for the challenges, I'm a sports fan and I'm like one team versus another, right? And a lot of them have been close. They haven't been a lot of blowouts. I feel like when the US is filming 3 tribes at once competing, it's too much to focus on. Like one tribe catches up on the end and you can't even see them because they're focusing on the other 2. Whereas in Australia, it's just team 1 versus team
it loses the tension.
That's it. Yeah. And you see them side by side, and every single move they make, every ball that gets knocked over or ball that goes into the box, it's like you see how close it is. It's all in front of you.
Yeah.
I would also say a huge like difference, and I feel like it's hard to see it, but the days played, the seasons being so much longer, that makes more times for relationships to form and plans to change. In the new era, it being so quick, you kind of just stick to the plan that you already had, and you don't have time to bond with people at a tribe swap or something because just hasn't been enough time.
Which, speaking of, I'm gonna derail a little bit. Speaking of days played, Johnson said that his Big Brother game was only 60 something days. Girl, that's not work. Like
Big Brother Australia is very unserious. Like I've seen a few seasons, because also Johnson kind of came in as like thinking he's this strategic mastermind because he got to the end in Australia and almost won, probably should have won, no shade, but like he comes in there and it's like, nah, bro. They were like in Big Brother Australia, there were like 3 or 4 real people that were playing hard the whole time. Everybody else was just there for the
Recruit
vibe,
City.
you know, and just like they're
Mhm.
doing all these random challenges to win groceries and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
very unserious. He gets out on Survivor, and these people are there to ball. Like they're serious. They want to win. They want that money. And he didn't realize he was just doing too much, and you can't play the same game in Australia.
Yeah.
You really
I
need the
will.
bigger tribes because, like, look at the 12-person tribes. Everyone has somebody they can rely on, someone they can work with. I love the Lyndall and Laws, for example. Like, Laws
Yeah.
could have been on her own this season, but she has a Lyndall. Like, I love that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can actually go ahead and get into it, starting with the Bounty Tribe because they are flops and they keep on losing. No shade. But there's a tribe swap coming next drop, so we'll see how it goes. Once again, I tried to order things around as to what they're aligned with towards the end of the drop, which we'll see better once people get eliminated. And shout out to Theodore for the confessional chart that we have. Girl,
me? Wait, me?
you know what, Theodore? I'm gonna stop giving you credit if you go act like you
gonna say, because what was the bit of Drake doing it? Was Drake trying to take credit for the confessional chart? What's
No,
with that?
I was just here. It was Lee's idea.
I will say before we get into it, Theodore, what do you predict with the confessional so far? Who do you feel like are front runners to win from this tribe, at least?
I mean, the way the confessional counts have evolved from season to season, like it is a little bit harder to figure out who has the proper winner edit because when you look at somebody like Lottie, sure, you may think, oh, well, she's being shown every episode. She has to be the winner, right? But that's that's just a simple way of thinking. They kind of want they want to push the big characters out there, the big players out there. Someone like Lottie needs to be shown every episode because she's been eating it up. Like she's been controlling it.
Diva.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that she's gonna win. Same thing with Mark on the other tribe. I saw someone said, well, Mark is definitely winning because he has all the confessionals, but quite honestly, I think that's just part of the storytelling that they go for. They want to show like every episode is its own little narrative, and these people who are controlling the tribe, of course, they're going to be shown more often. That's why we see someone like Asha being shown like here and there. Like she's not this big character, this big personality, but she is playing the game consistently. So it's hard to predict who's going to win. It's definitely easy to predict who's going to lose. Like no shade. Laws probably not winning. Cameron, I mean, he's kind of there just for the fun of it all. Like
hold on.
No, wait. No. Let me correct myself. He's playing the game, but the edit is making him seem like he's just there for the fun vibes. So
also, I think it's really interesting just the overall lack of confessionals. I feel like they do a really good job of just letting what's happening on the island speak for itself. We're letting the interactions tell the story versus someone being like, I'm masterminding this. And it's like that also helps you feel a lot more dropped in and a lot more natural. Now onto the laws of it all. My question is, why are they trying to get my girl out? Like the fact that she kept catching boats and they were finna damn near get rid of her if the whole like debacle didn't happen. Like what's going on? Let my girl live.
She's just one of those players that's just like girl there. Like the name could get said anytime. Like she could easily be a pawn. A little, like it's very easy just to say Laz's name.
Even then, like we saw her eating it up with Lyndall like during the nighttime. And this is the thing with Australians. They love their little nighttime strat chats. Like I feel like every episode.
I was gonna say not Lyndall, girl. She booted Eliza for that.
Well, okay, but she did that one episode when she looked for the idol, which is so strange. Like Lyndall,
she just wanted Eliza gone, girl.
Lyndall Swindle, like I don't know what she's doing half the time. She's very confusing, but we'll get to
we can go ahead and get into the happenings of the Bounty Tribe throughout the episodes. Essentially, they kind of try to play in Jackson's face. You have Lottie saying that, you know, it wasn't her idea to go after Eliza, but I'm not going to really tell you who it was. Lyndall's telling Jackson about what Eliza said, about how it rubbed her, about how she was on the bottom, and Lyndall's like, it rubbed me the wrong way. And she kind of, in this moment, takes credit for the move. I'm just like, Lyndall, baby, this was not it. First of all, it's barely your move. Come on now, girl. Like, that's one. Two, why would you tell him this to his face? So he can get vengeance on you? The name of the season is Redemption, baby. Like, lock in, Lyndall. Like, I just cannot with her. And then there's another incident this dropped where someone tells her, "Oh, girl, you at the bottom," and she's like, like, girl, accept that you are a bottom feeder in this game. Like, girl, please.
And it didn't even feel like she was saying that she got her out because, and maybe it's just because we have this perspective that she was upset that she woke her up, but it felt like she was even saying in this moment, like, I mean, girl, she came to me in the middle of the night and I didn't like that. So I said her name and everybody seemed to catch on to it. And it's like, you didn't even have to, you could have just kept quiet like everybody else.
Yeah. I don't understand it.
I think from Eliza's exit press, she said like after this season, her little talk, and it was definitely just because she woke like went to her in the middle of the night. Like that was like kind of the reason for this.
Like petty.
There wasn't
like,
hey, I live for the pettiness of these shows, but as like someone who also talks about the gameplay, lock in. Like I don't know.
You know what's cool about that though? Like people are using other people's emotions to their advantage, and shout out to motherfucking Paula because she is the
Shout
person.
out.
No, she is the person who made the move against Eliza.
Went
She's the
home?
one who
Oh.
started that move. It was revealed in an exit interview too. Harry and Paula confirmed that. Like she's the one who planted those seeds. She saw that Lyndall really wanted Eliza out for that whole waking up in the middle of the night situation, and she took advantage of that. She said, okay, well, if I take Eliza out, that's great because she's this huge potential social player that people kind of want to keep because, oh, like she's fun for the tribe, but that's a dangerous player at the end of the day. And Paula clocked that. Like, I did not think that Paula coming into the season was going to be this huge game player, but she was low key eating up with how many episodes she was in.
Like, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And Lottie kind of says that too, that Paula is the one that was controlling the Eliza vote. It's just like, I can't sit here and say shout out and go off girl when she goes home within the same drop. Like
that's how I feel about Harry being like, oh, y'all lit a fire under me. I'm gonna go scorch earth, and then you go home. Like it's like you're
Dirty Harry was screwed, and I will talk about it when it comes to it. Okay, my king was screwed. Dirty Harry.
But Lottie, she's always gonna be on top, so. Can't be her.
And she keeps eating it up. No shade. Like I said, I need another Kirby in my life, and Lottie is filling that spot. Now she needs to keep it cute because when she's speaking on Asia and Cameron,
please calm down. Yes,
not that one, not that one, girl. I will start praying on your downfall.
Reevaluate. Right.
It just feels like she's too out in front.
This is what I will say about Lottie. She needs to make up her mind. Okay. Now the thing is, and this is why I keep comparing her to Kirby, mainly because I have no other, people to go off of. But Kirby kind of lived for the stunts and shows. She was excited about this rivalry with Ferris. She was purposely not targeting him to keep that going. And I think vice versa. This is what it feels like Lottie is doing with Harry. And now she's doing it with Simon. It went from these returnees got to go. I can't work with them. They're going to have too much power to, oh, well, I need Harry in the game. Oh, now I need Simon in the game. Mm-hmm. Hold on, girl. Wait, hold on. Well, because now you saying fuck Asia. Hold on.
I think she's realizing that when you're playing this loud and really controlling it, you need a Harry to distract you
need shield
from fucking getting sniped. Because if Lottie keeps playing like this, it's only a matter of time before she gets sniped. Now, I would love to see her make it to the end and clutch that win, but it's just too loud. It's too see-through. And so I think initially you come on here and you're like, oh yeah, these, and she even says it at the tribal when Caleb, which my chaotic king, when Caleb is there, he's like, so you only think returners are big players? And I feel like that was a little bit of coming from internally where it's like, well, I'm a big player. And so I think she's starting to realize that just because they're returners doesn't mean that they're better than the game or they have a better shot. You have to really reassess the game for what is in front of you. And so I agree with her. I thought Paula is a sneakier player. If you let Paula through, she can make some more moves. Harry's always going to be a target. So I see where she's coming from for sure. But she got to slow down just a little.
I just feel like you can't you can't start the train on that and then try to revert so quickly. Like
That's
because
tea.
she's such an active player, I think
Mhm.
she leaned into that so fast, and now all of a sudden she's switching it all up. And my fear for that is you're gonna get yourself caught up because now she's trying to push away from allies that she's had, and it just feels like she's gonna do a whole 180, and that to me feels too quick.
Yeah, you can already see the seeds of her getting caught up because Asha, I think it's like the last episode's like, wait, she flipped me for a moment, and she's starting to realize it. So yeah, you gotta play. It's hard to play because you want to be a big character and play hard, but if you play too hard, you're gonna get sniped.
Well, Asha was trying to distance herself from that. She was like, yeah, Lottie was trying to push this. And Cameron was like, but you were pushing that too.
She got me. She got me. She was like, baby, she ate me up. No shade. Like, but Lottie, she's really good at getting in people's ear because, you know, basically she goes to Simon and she's throwing Paula under the bus. She's telling him that Paula was saying his name and that she wants to go after Simon, and her being so close to Harry is not a good thing for Simon at the end of the day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing Paula say Simon's name.
She made that up.
Okay, she just made that up.
There's some clarification behind that. So I don't remember who, but no, yeah, Paula mentioned, it wasn't on the episode. This is from her exit interview. She mentioned Simon's name just once, but it was never really going anywhere. Like it wasn't actually to full on target him at a tribal council. So they kind of weaponized that against her, I think.
That's all you
kinda where
need.
that
That's
came
all it
from.
takes.
One little flip up.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
I think
That's
it's
crazy.
good players are like, I think more people need to just like kind of like fabricate and lie about information. Like if it's believable, like, oh, you know, this person's a little suspect. Hey, they're targeting you now. Like just say it.
You know, this isn't Survivor, but I feel like one of the biggest misplays is when Jared lied about Jag leaking that information. And then he's like, he's going,
Girl,
and
that
then
was so sloppy.
he changes it up and says, oh, you didn't say that. You commit. If you just commit to lying, there's a good chance that he could have saved himself. They were truly thinking about changing their minds. And I think just overall, people don't lie enough. You have to lie smartly, but you have to lie within the context of what people are capable of. So if someone has a reputation for being a loose mouth, you know, blame it on them. Oh, they leaked this information. You know, you have to be smart. And I think just a little lie. And I think Lottie did that. You know, maybe it was an exaggeration. Maybe she never said it, or maybe she said it multiple times. But you take what you can to get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to get away with lying in like Big Brother and Survivor because it's a 24/7 game. I feel like if you're gonna do it in something like Traders, where you're just spending the day together and then you're out for the night, and it's harder to get little one-on-ones and stuff like that. But I feel like with that big beach and long nights, like someone's gonna fact check you sooner or later. Maybe not this vote, but sooner or later.
Yeah. Maybe Johnson, because girl, he was doing that a lot later on. But we do get to the reward. Bounty wins the reward. They win in something, child. And they get a cake, but it's a twist. Richard, he reads a scroll that says that he has to disperse the cakes from biggest to smallest, and he's handing out the cakes. He mentions how he gives Harry and Simon big pieces to put a target on them. I mean, child, he wasn't really eating that up. No shade. It was just cake.
Wait,
but,
I thought he was eating it up, low key.
Girl, ain't nobody finna get a target on their back for getting big pieces of cake. We see them big ass niggas right there. Like,
it did, because they said it at when the two tribes met. They were like, oh, or was it the most whatever? Was it the most liked, or was it who was contributing the most? So I feel like it planted seeds.
It might have been really good if it wasn't like two returnees, because like obviously they have like the biggest targets on their
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gagging.
Too obvious.
Like,
Okay,
okay.
Well, he gagged us
also,
because he gave Asha the scroll cake. So
I
there's
was
that.
gonna say,
also,
also, I would have
purpose.
been wondering where the advantage was. I just feel like it's obvious that there was something in that cake. Maybe I just feel like I'm this brick bang bitch. But as soon as they said you have this cake and you have to disperse it, I said, well, there's obviously an advantage in there. So I would have been like, whoever get the advantage, let me know. Just tap me, work something out.
No, it's interesting. She gets a scroll in her cake, and essentially she can save one person from tribal and choose someone from the winning tribe to vote in their place. And they have to present this after the immunity challenge, and it's only eligible for 3 rounds. When they first introduced the twist, I was like, I mean, I don't really see how it could affect the game too much, because like it's just like one night. And then when we saw it in the episode, it felt even weirder because I thought he would be with them at the
Agreed.
camp,
Yes.
but he was at the camp with Laz. However, he just shows up at the at the final tribal. It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
how much could he push a vote in the final at the tribal council? Like, I don't understand that.
I mean, that's why he did what he did, girl. Which I feel like that I would have loved to be in that role, to attend a tribal council where you can just wreak havoc and wreak chaos, and you ain't gotta worry about it. But we're not there yet. What we talking about, the cakes, right? I feel like personally, I thought that Richard was eating that up. Now, do I see Richard being this mastermind that's gonna go to the end of the game and become the next host of the show? No, I do not. However, I thought it was, at least it showed that he's thinking about everything that he's doing. So
No,
I
why are
will.
we spending
One
this much time
confessional.
on
Like,
Kaya?
y'all
We're spending this much
confessional.
time on Kaya Richard. What the
Yeah,
hell? is happening?
y'all criticize me for my like Kaya shit, but now you guys are doing this.
Yeah.
What do you think, you guys? I don't think I'm part of this.
I mean, I'm not standing him or anything, girl.
It
You
sounds like
want
you is.
it's never
mean-
giving stand. T.O. be having the Kaya's on his Mount Rushmore, girl. I'm just saying that.
Would you rather Paula or Rich? Pick.
The one in the
Paula.
game? I'm just joking.
Exactly.
I feel like Paula could do good if she came back. No shade.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel
Maybe on
that?
a second chance.
I mean, I just didn't get
I don't
enough
know.
from Paula. Like, I
That's
don't have
tea.
many thoughts on her.
That's too.
Like, when it comes to Survivor Australia, it's so many people that, like, these early outs, a lot of times I'm like, girl.
But also, they be bringing back early people sometimes. Like on All Stars, like have people that were like the fourth boot. They're like, sure, come on.
Oh, see, I don't know that. I don't know that. T.
But like they had big edits in those 4 episodes, so I don't think Paula's coming back.
And
But
Paula ain't have nobody's edit. That's why I'm not
She
gagging.
didn't. That's why when
Um,
Lottie said that Paula was controlling it, I was very confused because it didn't seem like Paula was controlling it. But I
She
guess
had
she
a few
was.
moments towards the end. Like, once she heard what Eliza was doing, it had a montage of her, like, going around saying her name.
Yeah, I'll get into later like what the actual structure is, because there's a lot more like behind the scenes that are not too clear, but I'll get to that like when we get to
Yeah.
Paula's boot.
You can tell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then essentially, Bounty then loses immunity, and we get back to the tribe, and Paul is concerned that Harry could be going home, and they're like, well, maybe we should just go ahead and push Lyndall. So Paula, she starts pushing Lyndall to the tribe. We see her talk to a few people, giving that strategy. Lottie and Asha talk. Asha is like, she doesn't want, hold on. She wants Lyndall out now. She does not trust her at all. So in her mind, she's like, I'm going with Paula's plan. That's what I want to do. And Lottie is saying that Paula is the one driving Harry's decisions, and she wants Paula out. And basically, Asha's like, she's in on that plan, and they move forward from there. I feel like, you know, later in the drop, she mentions how Lottie got in her head, but it does seem like from the conversation she has with Lottie, I don't know if the trust is just there fully or what, but it does seem like she easily is just like swayed by what she's saying. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent with her as the game continues, but it does feel like as soon as she talks to Lottie, it's like, well, we're doing this now.
She does change very quickly, even to the point where later she doesn't even realize it. So I am a little bit concerned with Miss Aisha. Aisha, how do you pronounce her name? Aisha?
is it Asha?
Asha. I'm very concerned with Miss Asha when it comes to that. She does seem not easily persuaded, but like you were saying, it seems like she can kind of let people get in her head and really, you know, work some things around. But I have confidence in her. I definitely think she's gonna make it far for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
how far though.
I think talking like edit wise, I feel really good about Asha. I feel like we see a lot of her, even for like one confessional, we at least hear something about her perspective. And I am rooting for her. I feel like she has a chance to win it.
I'm just very confused on what, like, I'm looking at this tribe as a whole, right? And I just don't really. Well, we're getting a shuffle. I was trying to say, I'm like, I don't really see where we go next. I feel like Rich is low key the next boot, but I still feel like Rich low key the next boot, girl, even with the tribe swap. But
you can go.
yeah, I think Do we have a little sneak peek? Did y'all get a spoiler on what the new tribes are? I know y'all are good with the spoilers and stuff. Do y'all know that?
I think they're out there, but I don't know them.
I don't know.
I'm excited to see what that tea gonna be because this season has been really good so far. So I want to see how it's gonna shake up. Like, especially like with people like Mark. I wanted to see Brooke get a little bit more active. Like maybe Cameron gonna come back. I don't know. But we do see also at the tribe, Lottie is pushing to Simon again that Paula needs to go because she's putting his name out. She also goes to Lyndall and tells her that Paula is floating her name and that she should be expecting votes from Paula and Harry. We also see Jackson speak to Asha and Cam, and they're like, we want to bring you into this plan to go after Paula. And essentially, everyone is kind of getting in arms to go after her. And we see there's a moment where Harry notices Cameron speaking with a group, and then Cameron like gets up and walks off. And Harry is like, well, what was that about? Because y'all getting up when I walk into rooms now, like what's tea? I'm like, oh, Harry, you get down like this? Like, why are we calling people out right now? That was so crazy to me.
He was so paranoid. Also, if you pay attention, low-key Harry was having those Parvati eyes. It was very much giving like squint, what's going on? Like you'll see it, especially in the tribal where the like he was being held to the fire girl. It was a lot of squinting, a lot of looking around. He just was so paranoid, which rightfully so, because girl, they was coming for you. But yeah, he really checked Cameron there. And Cameron was like, no. What was funny was Cameron was like, no, man, I could see how that could be suspicious. And he was like, no, it couldn't. No, he was like, it's not, it could be suspicious. It is suspicious. I was like, geez, Harry, like, calm down, pump the brakes.
Dirty Harry for real. Like, you get down, mama. You do not play. And then we get to the final, I keep saying final tribal council. We get to the tribal council.
That's weeks away from now.
Right.
Which I also think that like added 48, 6.
How many days do they play?
45. This one's shorter than usual.
45.
Yeah,
45. But we get to the tribal council, and there's not much that I have written down from this tribal council. But Paula does go home. And now, Tito, you was mentioning that there are some like mechanisms to her leaving. Like, what was the tea on that?
Yeah. So basically, it starts with like Paula and Harry. So the reason these two came together so easily and quickly was actually because Paula, interestingly, was supposed to be cast on Champions vs. Contenders 2. That's the one that Harry was on. Mm-hmm. So they were supposed to be on the same tribe. But because she had like a medical emergency, I believe it was medical emergency, she wasn't able to compete. But now she's here, and it was like meant to be that her and Harry are on the same tribe, which makes me think maybe production did that on purpose because they wanted that little connection for Harry. But Paula and Harry essentially had this core alliance with Lottie, and I believe it was Simon. It was either Simon or Asha, but I believe it was Simon. And then basically what they're doing with that core four, they have people they trust. It's kind of like an onion alliance, kind of like that, where they have people that they consider their untouchables. And then the people kind of on the outer shell, essentially the Riches, the Lindals, the Lawses, the Jacksons, like they're kind of the ones they want to pick off. So next on the list was Lyndall, because yes, Lyndall was a fun person to be around, but gameplay wise, no one really could connect with her on that sense. Mm-hmm. So that's why when Lottie now flips on Paula and Harry, like that's kind of a gag for Paula, because she thought her and Lottie were like this. And this just goes to show how good Lottie is good at that social game, because she has everybody in her circle and they all trust her. She's controlling it for sure.
That's a diva.
She had to let people know, like, I'm the big dog here, and if Harry's gathering too many people, if Paula had to know she was playing a dangerous game, in my opinion, being that close to the biggest target, right? Because I mean, we all know, like, if you can't get the big target, you're gonna get their number one. So I'm a little bit surprised that she wasn't a little bit more self-aware, but this context really kind of helps paint that picture. And the fact that Lottie, like, they kind of teased her out, worried about like Asha and Cam all of a sudden, is I'm just a little bit worried, like there's a level of ego and confidence you have to play with to be a big dog, but then there's the self-awareness to know you need to keep people around long enough that can trust you for like at least half the game and move forward. I'm concerned that if she makes a move too quickly against people that have been loyal to her, then she's gonna be like one of those like mid-game boots.
That's what my fear is.
Yeah.
Like,
What
and we'll see with this tribe swap, especially if she ends up swapping with like Asha or Cam. But I do think, even though Asha is also distancing herself, which they kind of she kind of admitted in the episode, it's like they do need each other to an extent. So I'm hoping neither one of them makes the first strike, because right now I feel like they really should keep working together.
How do y'all feel about that logic in general? I feel like a lot of times it's like, well, we can't get to them, or we should probably go for their. I feel like a lot of times they don't even try to attempt to go for the actual target, and usually go for the ally first. And I've just always been like, just go for who you're targeting. I get a secondary, topic. Maybe they have an idol, maybe they win, but a lot of times they don't even try to do the work to figure out if they like. It's just, we'll just go for the secondary person. And it's usually, especially when it's a woman and a male pair, it's usually the woman. They did it with Eliza and Jackson. They were like, well, let's just go for Eliza just in case, Jackson. And then same thing with Paula. And I've just never liked that. I just think go after the people you're targeting and just call it that.
That's what I was kind of wondering. It's like, if there's a big target, going for that big target, they're gone. Now who's the big target? Like, I do think there's some meta in it of like, keep the OGs, keep the big dogs that have the big name, because otherwise you're next. And Paula's somebody that, right, they see could like slide through and get further and be hard to get out later. I understand that logic too.
Yeah, remember it's 45 days, and I think that's the big thing. Like, this is a very long game. It's different in the US, where of course you would want to go after Mother Suri first because it's 26 days. Like, you don't have much time. Like, you gotta get her out like that, and they can't get her out. But in this case, yeah, I agree with Easy. Like, this is a longer game. You need to keep those bigger targets in this early game at the very least, because not only are they shields for you, but like, if you're in a scenario where you're in a swap and you're swap screwed, but that one big target could be on your side, they're more likely to work with you because they're actively thinking like, okay, we can work something out. I'm not that emotionally disturbed by you. Unlike some other people who aren't really actively playing the game. I think, okay, maybe not, Paula's not like the greatest example, I think, because I think she would be at least like actively playing the game. But again, like you said, she could slide through, unlike a Harry, who would be a great shield down the line.
Yeah,
I
so
also think too. Oh, you can go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I guess so in general, y'all would prefer to, I guess, keep the bigger target and take out their ally. Like, would that be the smarter move to y'all?
I think
or does it depend?
It depends on who you are.
Especially relationships. Yeah. Go ahead.
Especially because, like, in this situation, like, well, in any situation, you don't really know how many connections the bigger target actually has. Like, they're the top player for a reason. So it's like, it's going to be harder to turn certain people on them. Whereas a Paula, who really talking to Paula? Like, she's a number for him. She can easily go home, and she's active. Like, a lot of times, really good players have people doing work for them. And so if you cut that off, then that's one less person doing work. Like, Paula was running votes. So it's like, taking her out really helps.
And look what happened to Harry.
Yeah, he goes right next.
You also have to keep the balance. At some point, you do have to take out that big target and make sure it's known that you did it. Because I always think of like Charlie in Survivor 46. He kind of runs that merge, taking out all these targets with behind Maria, and then he gets to the final tribal, and some people are like, "Well, what the fuck did you do?"
Yeah,
like they didn't really like see it because he was so far in the shadows behind people. So you have to keep this balance of staying in the shadows but knowing to come out.
That's why I really like what Simon is doing, honestly. Like, I feel like I underestimated him a bit because he's not the most savvy strategic player. I like what he's doing socially. Like, he was a big dog and he was like, okay, let me have this secret thing with Harry. And then he realizes Lottie is the power. So let me go and kind of connect with her and be her like right-hand person. And now all of a sudden Lottie's spilling tea to him about her former number like 1 and 2. And I feel like he's in this position where he could go back and snitch on her and take her out at some point and gather some more minions that aren't great players, or he can stay attached to this little group of 4 that might be fighting each other, and he could again slide through further. So it's an interesting spot where he's at.
Yeah, and it's like go off Simon a little bit. I don't know. Is he is
Right.
redeeming himself? Redemption.
Redemption, exactly.
I
On
I haven't
theme.
I haven't seen his other seasons, so girl. I mean,
Oh,
it's very like. I mean, I'm not gagging. Like it's
Well, this is his best
serviceable.
gameplay.
But
Okay,
is
so
this
that's saying a
this is the
lot.
best? Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm just like it's okay. Like I'm not gagging. I think when you're having to like when people are constantly dropping bombs on you, it means you never know what's going on. And that's sometimes how I feel with Simon, where people are always like, girl, this is what's going on. He's like, what? This is what happened and what? And I just, you need to be controlling some of the information. Like, you need to be telling people what's
Yeah.
happening.
Well,
And he's making it by, I think his connections are semi decent, but overall, I don't see him making a super, super deep run.
it is
Yeah.
so strange with Simon because he is like a Survivor super fan, and this is his third time playing, and he's never been that person who's like in the power and like has all this knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
He's like always like the underdog, or like he wants to be the. I feel like this time he wants to be the sidekick.
Yeah. Which interesting position for him. Like I think it's really helping him because he's not being
Yeah.
seen as such a huge threat. But we'll see if that changes. I mean, I wouldn't be scared of Simon though, no shade. Out of all the returnees here, Simon would not put no fear in my heart.
We talked about in the
Yeah.
preseason. We were like, Simon's probably the best position because who was scared of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get into the next episode, and Harry is talking to Lottie, and they're discussing Lyndall and Laws. This is what Harry is pushing. This is his next strategy. And this is when Lottie, she opens up and she's like, I feel like me and Harry are a little bit similar, and that she wants to be with him in a tribe swap. And she also says that he could be good for her game. And Harry is kind of thinking the same thing, from what I presume. This is what I just found interesting because all last episode it was we have to get out Paula because we can weaken Harry. But
now
the
he's weakened.
very next time, the very next round, when Paula's gone, oh hey,
And
it's
I
like,
feel like-
you want to be Paula, Lottie?
Right.
I feel like this happens a lot, and that's why I'm always like, so are you taking out their ally because you want to be their ally? Which that makes sense. If you want to work with the big player, that makes sense. Weaken them so you can work with them, and then when it's time to take them out, you can take them out. But it just never felt like that from Lottie. It did feel a little bit indecisive. Like, well, I mean, Paula gone, you here. I mean, this conversation wasn't too bad. Like, I could see us working together. Like, it just felt very in the moment and not, okay, we're getting out Paula so I can get closer.
But she also had the self-awareness to let him go eventually, right? Which I think is smart. Like, because if she had fought even a little bit harder, right, to keep Harry around, I think she'd be in some trouble right now going into this next week.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I
Yeah.
think she did fight just a little, like she didn't fight too crazy, but it was just enough for Cameron and Aisha to, have some eyebrows raised a little bit. So it may not come to bite her initially, but if she continues to push a little bit here, push a little bit there, it's all going to culminate into her getting sniped.
But
Yeah.
my thing is, and I love Lottie. I love her so bad. Like I really do. I love a real dominant woman player in games like this because it's like, just give me what I need. Mama, run these bitches to the ground. So I want her to go far. It's just she is scaring me because I'm like, you set the momentum up. Like you set this system up to go after Harry. And now the girls are going after Harry, and you're confused, and you want your numbers to switch. Like you realize I maybe she thought she had way more power to persuade Cam and Asha and things like that. But you can't just do a 180 that quick, girl. Like you set this momentum up to go after him.
It kind of reminds me of Laura from last year in Bring vs. Bronze 2. Like in that early game, she built that women's alliance, and the women's alliance kept wanting Rich, and she was like, "No, we're not doing Rich."
Yes.
And then by
Was it the Coven or whatever?
Yeah, the Coven. Yes. And then by the time we get to like the merge, there's so much animosity between the Coven, where Zara and Karin leave to go with AJ and Miles, and then she was the first member of the jury. So
I was gonna say everybody ain't Sari, girl. You can't have the entire house flip and then the entire house flip back and then the entire house flip and then flip back. Like everybody ain't got that power and finesse. So you do got to figure out what you're gonna do and make that move. And if you do change your mind, you have to be very, very smart about it and very suave, very swaggy, very smooth.
And then we do see Asha tell Lottie about her advantage, and we end up getting to the immunity. Bounty loses again, and Asha uses her advantage. She switches Laz with Caleb, so Laz is now safe on the other tribe, and Caleb will be joining them for the tribal council to eliminate one of the people. They need a name for that. Is it eliminate?
Voted
Is
out.
it tribe has spoken? Voted off?
To vote, yeah,
I
to
guess
vote
voted
out,
off.
to vote
We
off the
were-
island.
We were truly robbed of cracked Caleb being on this beach for a day. Like that
That's
could
what I'm
have been fun.
saying.
Yeah.
Like
Crazy
that's
but
what I was
cautious.
expecting to get. I was kind of mad. I was kind of upset about that.
Like
Also,
And
what are the odds that that's who she picks? Everybody on that tribe, and she picks Caleb. Like,
Where did they find that guy? Like,
Literally.
they found out he was someone's like trash can first, like the garbage truck, and they're like, you should be on Survivor. Like we're gonna recruit
love
you
it.
right now.
I love it.
I'm interested to see how far he's gonna go. Hopefully he stays chaotic throughout, but I don't know how far that's gonna get him. We're gonna see, child. So Australia is a different beast, so maybe pretty far. I don't know.
it is.
It's just usually people who play that like I want to be the rat floater type. They don't usually get respect, or sometimes they don't go that far. So we'll
I
see
could
how
just,
that.
I could just see you being caught and be like, my bad, I was being a little crazy.
And then they just laugh and forget.
I could see him making it far because we see it later. He can clean it up. He can turn it on and he can turn it off. So I'm keeping my eye out for Caleb. Now I don't think he gonna win, girl. I think he gonna get caught up in the motion of the ocean, but I don't think he's gonna go out. Or he might go out in a ball of fire, and that could be very entertaining.
I would live for that. But this is the biggest gag for me because essentially, you know, we just saw Lottie and Harry were pushing Lyndall and Laz. Laz gets saved by Asha's advantage, and then they have an individual immunity twist. So
Wall
Which that reveal,
that
was
guy.
that was nasty. And that's what I love about Australia. When they do throw in little twists, it doesn't, to me, disrupt the game too much. Like when New Era Survivor, we see a lot of twists that have disrupted the game. At least the seasons I've watched so far, I haven't felt
They're doing
any.
better.
Some of those old
Yeah.
seasons, they
Now, I haven't watched all the old seasons, so don't jump
Like
me on that.
Glee, you're gonna wait.
But
when
see,
you
I'm
do your whole
comparing new era
rewatches.
to new era.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
comparing
you're
new
gonna
era
see-
to new era.
On a tribe of 9 people, 7 people or 6 people get voted out, but then like what?
Huh?
All of them return.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you're
were doing
gonna-
anything
you-
back in the day.
If you're confused now, get ready until that.
Uh,
season.
Once we got to
Uh,
like heroes versus villains, they were like, okay, maybe we're acting a fool. Let's
Maybe
cut it
we
off
do
now.
They were doing
yeah, they
anything.
started controlling it.
that's too much.
But we get to the individual immunity and Lyndall wins. So the two names that were floated out are now both safe,
robbed.
which is really, really
Really?
interesting.
Can we talk about how Lyndall in the convention was like, she's like, I didn't need it, but like I'll take it anyway.
Baby girl. But I don't even think she would have went. And that's the thing. I feel like Cam and Aisha would have woke up because for real, y'all, what is a Lyndall? Like, what is a Lyndall in the grand scheme of things?
And I'm like, she has all these confessionals. Like, does that mean she's going? I hope it doesn't mean she's making a deep run because it's bad.
I have a
gameplay.
theory later.
I do think
I
she
think she
is.
could be the next one to go, but
I think she's either going really soon or she's making a deep run because she is at the
Yeah.
bottom. But I feel like these confessionals want us to agree with her for some reason.
Yeah.
like just like the
I
tone of
hope
them.
not, because I don't.
Because like I do think she would have went though. Because I do think Harry is capable enough to like push the target on Lyndall and Laws. I feel like he's been doing that for a while now. And then when it came to him and Jackson, I feel like he was like, well, fuck it, let's have some fun.
I have a question. Do you all think that they like that production was like, oh, Harry's in trouble. Let's throw an individual immunity and give him a chance at redemption? Or do you think that was just
No,
I
that
don't
was
know,
already.
it was kind of sus to me.
It was already
Um,
looks pretty too complex to build last minute. Had a whole wall.
Yeah,
No, I
that
don't
was
think so.
already set up.
yeah, the thing is with Australian Survivor in this newer era, like they want a moment every single episode. They don't want a single episode to just be bland. And usually they do like the non-eliminations as that like big moment thing, but they didn't actually do a non-elim yet, so they replace it instead with
Let's
the
hope we get
immunity
none.
challenge.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well,
too many.
I don't
people.
know. But the tea is, I heard that this new, I don't know what you call it, but like the new production person, they are trying to reduce non-eliminations. I don't know how that'll work.
It needs to
Girl,
be
Maybe
where
the
do you be
boundary,
getting all this
but-
tea? You be
Going
sitting in
from
on the
3 to 1.
production
Well,
meeting?
That's Tio.
Well, I'm just like, I'm doing my
Yo, what's the
research,
tea?
you know? I'm doing my research.
He's a journalist.
Please.
Yeah, I can't reveal all the tea yet. Like, you got to tune in for the future weeks, guys. Like, tune in next week, and you'll get more from me.
Leave a wanting and a wondering. I think that's right.
Reality
But
show.
we get back to the tribe, and Harry is telling Lyndall that, everyone was after you if you didn't win this immunity. Like, you were going to go home. And she goes to the other side, and she's like, this is what Harry is saying. Like, I don't know. I want him to go home now. And it's like,
This pissed me off so bad. I'm like, you did it. You did this to Eliza. If somebody comes to you with information, you're going to turn around and be like, out of all 10 people left, you're the one that needs to go home. The one that spilled some tea to me.
It was in the daytime this time. So, like, what's the excuse?
But it didn't even feel like, I don't know. It just feels like nobody wants to work with Lyndall for real. So Harry coming and bringing this information, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm bridging this gap or anything. It's just, oh, you need me now because you're in trouble. And I could see where Lyndall comes from, because it never feels like some people are coming to her with an actual olive branch of we can move forward. It's just, girl, you finna go home. And it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that?
something.
Well,
I mean,
Exactly. And it wasn't her, and it was Harry. So she did something.
I don't know. It just seemed like she was annoyed with her. I mean, she literally said, he's so annoying. Like, I just think she was annoyed. Just like with Eliza, she was annoyed at Harry for she thought he was lying just to do something.
We didn't even talk about this in the Paula vote. They said, "Hey, you might catch some votes from Harry's side, but you're good. We have the votes to protect you." What? I'm getting votes. Let's do Jackson. They had a plan to save you, but now you want to flip it. Like, I don't understand it.
She's
It
such
doesn't
an
make any sense.
Yeah, she was a little confused because she was like, wait, I don't want to be the split. And she was like, no, you're not our split. You're their split. It was like, oh, poor baby.
Oh my god.
You're someone's split.
Just
I also wouldn't want my name out there in any capacity
At all.
So I kind of
No.
get it. I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But we do see that this push from Cam that he wants Harry out. Lottie is saying, no, we shouldn't do that. I don't want Harry out anymore. And they kind of have this like back and forth. Lottie goes to Harry and she's like, look, it's down to Cam and Asha. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm not voting you off. And this is when Harry kind of makes a big pitch to the full tribe. He's like, Jackson, go ahead and go away. And he says, basically, he'll have more value as a player than Jackson. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Why would Jackson listen? Why didn't he just say, well, no, I'm going to stay right here where I'm standing, eating my rice?
He
also
was fine
think
as idol.
that Harry, Harry probably thought of it later after he did the pitch, but Harry, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be pitching separately from Jackson to the tribe and then just putting this plan together with Jackson. Like, it was counterintuitive, and I think that's why we ended up where we ended up at the tribal.
Yeah, most definitely. And then this is when we see Lottie convincing Asha that they should do Jackson, and she even attempts to flip Cam on the same plan. So it's like, well, maybe we are moving towards a Jackson situation. But then we also see, before going to tribal, that Harry has a plan. Dirty Harry has a plan. And basically he's like, we steal the Flint. One of us have it. And we let them know. And essentially it's a 50-50. It could save both of us because they don't want to vote out the Flint. And we put our votes on Richard. And
I'm obsessed. Pause. Okay, so my first time watching this, I didn't hear him say to Jackson, you keep the Flint. So when the whole Jackson moment happened, that was a gag, which I feel like that was a mess up on editing's part. Like, they should have left that as a big reveal. But I mean, just like, let's set up where we are going into tribal. Laws gets saved by an advantage, and she's off the board. She's at a different tribal. Lyndall wins individual immunity. And then now Jackson and Harry are hatching up this plan to split up this Flint between them. So there's just so much intrigue heading into this tribal. And then you have Caleb coming in that has nothing to lose, that is literally here to stroke the fire and create chaos. And all of the ingredients melted together perfectly for one of the best tribal councils like ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this was great. And that's like, if you think this is a good one, girl, it's some tribal councils in Survivor Australia that I've seen. I haven't seen that many seasons, and they are nasty. Like, the tribal councils are really good at Survivor Australia.
I
I'm
think
telling you, they build it like a movie. They build it up like a murder mystery or a thriller. Somebody's gonna get got, and they lean into that. Like, I love it. It's dramatic. It's intense.
Yeah.
There's villains. There's backstabbing, and there's people laughing in the confessionals about being a villain and backstabbing people. Like, when's the last time we've seen that? Like, what do we get? Like,
they're editing out Angelina as we speak. They don't want to show that villain
Literally.
side of her.
honestly, the last like person in the US that was really like this was Q, but I feel like he's just like cracked every day in real life.
Yeah.
So
right. They got
but also I think part of it is like, and Harry talked about in his Express, he's like, Jackson let them have this moment before he did his big thing. So it's like I feel like these players have like kind of like this respect for each other, like, let's all get our little moments in before we do my moment. And then they realize it's a TV show. And I think that's part of the fun.
Agreed. That's really what it was. I think the production of it. I think where Harry went wrong is he passed the baton to Jackson. One, giving Jackson the Flint obviously was a mistake. And then second, letting him set it up. He's like, do you want to let them know what he does? And I was kind of nervous as to how Jackson was going to deliver this news because it's a very interesting thing to set up. But Jackson delivers it flawlessly and it sets up this tension. And then, you know, Harry has his little moment and then Jackson is able to come back right then and drop the bomb. And it's so brilliant where, you know, Harry comes up with this plan to try to double cross the tribe with Jackson only to get double crossed himself. Like, it's just cinema. It really is. And I thought it was a brilliant move from Jackson. One, to understand what was going on, to understand that he had the power in that moment. He had the Flint, which Harry rightfully gave over to him, giving him the power in the game. And his performance was flawless. That's another thing. Tribal Council is so much about the performance, and it wasn't all of these analogies and metaphors. It was just straight up, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. And you shouldn't dare vote me out because I'm actually the one that has the Flint. Like, it was just so good.
I have a question though. How do you guys feel? Because when Jackson did that whole gaggy reveal, I thought he was gonna keep the Flint and be like, well, if you guys vote me out, I'm taking the Flint with me. But he gave it to Simon. And I'm trying to debate, like, was that too much of a risk to give it back to Simon now? Because now they can just vote you out and there's nothing they lose.
No,
but it does reduce his threat level now because he's showing.
I think it's like the story of it all. It's like the symbolicness of it. Like, in that moment, he wasn't. I don't think the main goal was him saving himself. I think the main goal was exposing Harry doesn't have the Flint, so you can safely vote him out. Yeah, he knew Harry was going home. Harry is on the chopping block. Harry goes home tonight. The only thing saving Harry is this plan. So I'm just going to out it.
I also think a big picture of this, I think this built him some social capital and some respect from the people on the tribe. He's been on the outs for like so long. His name was coming out in the first ever tribal council as a potential vote. So I feel like this way, he's still probably towards the bottom of the pecking order, but he's officially probably above like a Lindell, a Laws, and maybe even a Rich.
Yes. I also love the way that he framed it. It wasn't just, I have the Flint, don't vote me out. It was, Harry's a liar. Harry's a backstabber. Harry is a schemer. He is willing to go to these lengths. And that is what pushed it over the edge, just from Harry doesn't have the Flint, I do. It's, if Harry is willing to do all of these things, mind you, I'm in on the plan. But if Harry is willing to do all of these things, what else is he willing to do? And I can't get over it. It's just so good.
Yeah, it was I'm the good guy, he's the bad guy. And also, like, for Jackson, I think it's the right play. Again, he has to go back and live with these people. There's probably a thought in the back of their head. We screwed him over on the Eliza thing. Is he really going to be loyal to us long term? Like, that's how we start. Like, we blindsided this dude. He was heartbroken. He's obviously a sensitive person. Like, going into a swap, can we trust him? So this is an opportunity for him to show, like, yeah, of course, like, we can still regain trust, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think they can trust him. He's definitely flipping.
It made him. I feel like this made him a bigger threat. I feel like this increased the target on his back so much. Yes, Lottie. Like, there's some behind the scenes things that were what led to Harry getting out. but that performance at Tribal Council for sure put the nail in the coffin for Harry.
Yeah.
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 Also,
It was bad.
I'll say a big part of like Jackson's whole performance, and why it was so good and it just wasn't analogies, is someone who like wants to work in like the professional wrestling world. The
Yes.
art of a promo of just like
Yes.
calling out people and having to think on your like feet real fast and calling each other out. I think you could tell how he's doing in the promo. We see this with people like Jesse and Big Brother. We want a House of Villains. His like thing with Wes at the end. It's just the promos.
Yeah. It's all about the stunts in the show. It's like no shade. I love a good
It's
stunt in the show.
performance. Yeah,
How did y'all feel about Caleb in the midst of this?
loved it.
No, like he was calling them out. I just feel like there's not much that he could do in the moment because it was the tribal council. Like he should have had that time before the tribal to really get in their heads to push something, and him having to kind of lay out his game. Like if Harry didn't go home, he could have been fucked, you know? Like even him doing his damage control, people watched him openly go after returnees and say that returnees are bad. It won't shock me if it somehow gets back to Marco Brook. It will not shock me at all.
No, they're definitely setting it up like that. The edit is definitely setting it up like that because he got back to camp and
one of my favorite moments is like after he does all this whole thing, like Harry whispers here, "You can vote Rich. He's running it." He's like, "Him? He's running it."
And then
anything.
doesn't Lottie like convince him to vote for Jackson?
Yes.
And she just like taps him on the shoulder. Hey, vote for Jackson just in case he has an idol. And he's like, all right, man. Like,
mother.
She can do anything, bitch. Like, okay, that's my queen.
No,
That's
I'm
my
obsessed with her. She's just so cool. Like she's just cool, calm, collected. Like nothing bothers her. Everything is even kill. Everything is going her way. I need her to win, low key. Is y'all's winner on this tribe or is it on the other tribe?
It's on this tribe. But we've seen more of them.
I haven't really attached myself to a winner yet. I'm not sure who can win this game.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is with the new era Australian Survivor editing is that if the tribe that loses immunity is usually the tribe they focus on for the episode. That's why again, these episodes, each episode, it's a whole different narrative. It doesn't always revolve around the winner. So even if the winner has 3 episodes in a row where they get 0 content, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to win. That's why it's hard because we've seen obviously a little less of Barren so far. So I'm like, it could technically still be a Barren person. Like someone like Keely could win. Like she's kind of under the radar, but we're seeing her enough to where we can still build this winner storyline for her. It's not looking too great for her right now, but she could definitely redeem herself. So I don't know.
Redemption.
I think the easy answer would be Bounty, but again, we've just seen a lot more of them. And I mean, they're definitely my favorite tribe so far.
No, they're cracked. I kind of I'm sad that it's going to be a tribe.
I know. It's so
I love the bounty dynamic. No shade. Barren kind of giving snooze fest. I love Mock, but other than that.
And wait, how often do we say that about US Survivor New Era, right? Like, how often are we like, oh no, I don't want them to swap because I'm having so much fun on this 6-person tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Or there's 2 people by the end of it.
Yeah, it's like that's not exciting or interesting to me. That's like it's almost like luck based, and whoever you connect with on day one, either you win or lose. This is so much more exciting. But in terms of like winner equity, I feel like they're kind of setting it up where it's Asha versus Lottie, like if they end up going at it. So I could see it being one of them, and then Simon is like my sleeper. I don't see anyone besides those 3 taking it.
I really need to learn the Survivor Australia edit because I'm not seeing what y'all saying for Asha. I'm not.
I do want to
really.
No,
I want to throw this theory about Jackson. I feel like they love their they want their winner to have a story, and I feel like the season being redemption. I feel like Jackson so far has a story of redemption of him like losing Eliza early and being blindsided. Now he got this revenge. Now they could have just done this because he had this big moment in episode 5. If we might never see him again, but I feel like so far he does have like the redemption story.
Yeah,
I don't know. He could be a 0 vote finalist too. No shade.
Yeah, because it's not like they pick the theme before they even get brought onto the thing. So the person that wins probably don't even have really like a redemption arc like that.
But I think the way they're editing it, they care about him.
That's what they want to have.
I mean, From this tribe, like for me, from my perspective, the only potential winner contender so far would be between Asha, Jackson, because I do love that point that Drake brought up about the redemption theme. Yeah, Asha, Jackson. There's a very slight chance Lottie, but again, like I just feel like she's gonna burn out because she's playing more out there. Like people know her game now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Simon could also technically win, but
Girl, Simon ain't
the-
winning.
Simon, but
Hang it
Yeah, I
up.
don't think-
Hang it up.
don't
I
think
mean, we
so.
never know. Redemption.
No,
Yeah.
Simon is not
The idol
winning
redemption.
this season.
Simon goes to
telling you
final
that.
tribal council and pulls a cookie out of his ass. And it's like, I have heroes versus villains.
I
Want me to win.
oh, do you even know about that, Dave? About Simon having a cookie in his ass?
What?
It's not the same as what happened to Christian, but you know,
He found a cookie that he thought was an idol, so to hide it, he put it up his ass. Like I'm not even joking. Like that's
It
what
wasn't
he
even
did.
a cookie, but it was like just a medallion, like a
And he
circular
shoved it up his
thing.
booty cheeks, child.
he probably just pooped himself, and that was his cover story.
How big was it? Was it like a circle? Was it all the
He
way?
had
Was it in
somebody
the crack?
feel it. He had his closest male
definitely
out,
had to
like
be in the crack.
feel it out. He's like, feel it, and then he did, and he's like, oh, it's big.
I wish it was me.
Whoa.
I wish it was me.
Whoa, Teo.
I've been in
like-
that situation before, and it do be big.
Like, there's too many.
Wait a
easy jokes
damn
in this
minute.
one.
But then we get to the last episode for the Bounty Tribe. Not much happens. They win reward. They win immunity. One of the big things that we see is that Lottie doesn't like that the girls are playing Happy Family. She feels like bitches is being too nice around here.
Of course.
And she wants to recruit Simon as her number one because she feels like she needs him in the game. They have a nice chat, and this is when she drops that Asha's being a little flaky. I don't know where I sit with her and Cam right now. And Simon is also like, I need her going forward. So they kind of have this unity forming, and we're gonna see how that works out with the tribe swap. Are they gonna stick together? Like, is Lottie gonna have the same energy with Mark? I want to see her with Mark. I want to see Lottie with Mark. Like, what is
That'll
that?
be
gonna
That could be
like,
nasty.
That'll be
The
fun.
two main characters.
Let's go.
Like, that could be real nasty.
You know what was another funny moment that we forgot to mention? When Harry got out, Simon started crying, bawling his eyes out, hugging
course.
him, and then Asha's like,
Of course.
"Wait, is he being for real?"
It's like in Big Brother, like when Zach was bawling when Zay went out. I'm like, you've known each other what, like 6 days or some shit, and you're acting like your
Simon
dog
and Harry
passed away.
know
I
each
was gonna
other.
say this one gave a little bit more because they actually had a little bit of a history.
Fair.
My thing is, why are you crying? You voted them out.
You could have stopped this. You
Yeah,
could've-
well,
I don't give a damn. Like, you didn't have to put him out, sir.
you could have pushed for Jackson. You really could have.
But
And that, I never liked that. Like, yes, there are sometimes where you have to forfeit, but if this isn't what you want, then do what you want for your game. Why are you doing what? Like, if by the end of the tribal council you're in tears, girl, maybe this wasn't the move that you should have
Yeah.
done.
I no, I think the tears were mostly just he felt bad,
Yeah.
but his move was intentional. Like he wanted to split apart from Harry, especially after what he heard about Paula going after him a
He
little
had
bit.
to.
So yeah, and again, like you need to reduce that target level from your back, and I feel like a lot of people now from this tribe specifically might see Simon more of like a newbie, like blending in with them, rather than just like, oh, he's a straight up attorney, kind of like Harry. Like Harry was a straight up attorney, like people knew. So yeah, I think this was, I think it was for now the right move for Simon, just because he needs to reduce his threat level. It's gonna be hard for Mark and Brooke if they're more out there the way they are right now. For Simon, you need to reduce that threat level. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, don't cry about it.
That's how I feel.
well, that's it.
But-
That too.
I think
Like-
the only time I
Oh,
would
we can go
cry.
ahead and get to the Barren tribe. Oh, what were you saying? Sorry.
I think the only time I'll cry to vote off is like if we're in the end game. It's like we were really close, but I have to do it because we're at the end, and I know you'll beat me. I can see myself getting emotional in those moments. Like, damn, we've been here for 40 days, and I'm cutting you right now. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
or
would have
if
to
it's
be
my
something-
mama, like, oh
Yeah.
girl,
It would have to be someone that I'm really, really close with. Like, I feel like we would have to work with each other since day one type shit. And we really connect and bond over like specific shit. Like, it would have to be something like that. Like, if it's just like I was working with you for convenience, girl, I don't care.
Ooh, another interesting note from the bounty tribe during the reward. Laws did reveal that the other tribe thought Cameron would be the next to go, like instead of Harry, which makes you think like, is Cam going to be not taken that seriously in this swap by the Barren tribe? Because they at the moment think he's just a like, a more kooky personality. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing for Cam if they thought he was the next to go.
Because
I
he's
mean,
British.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's just I think it could just be his performance in the challenge where he flopped and missed all 30 of the sandbags where
Oh,
they thought that he was going home.
we didn't
I think
even
that
mention that.
is the main thing. But I don't know. I feel like Cameron's in a good spot. I think he's very personable and he's very social. And so even though they may have thought that, once they get to know him, I don't think that they'll be trying to
Yeah.
make a move on him at all.
No, yeah. I feel like once you get to know him, you're gonna gravitate towards him.
I would gravitate towards him.
Also, I have
Really?
I'm starting to wonder if maybe greed and gluttony causes you to lose sight of the true goal, because the bounty tribe was able to win the rewards. They got the shelter, they got the food, they got the nachos, they got the cake, but they kept going to tribal. So maybe if they were hungry, they could have won immunity.
They don't have a
Maybe.
bin.
But we do get to the Barren tribe. Not that much information because they won twice here. We see in episode 4, Don is really getting flustered because he wants people to know who he is. He is Matt Rogers' brother. And this is big information that he really just needs to share. So he goes to Mark and he tells him that he is the Godfather's, Matt Rogers' brother. And baby, I guess that was a huge gag.
No.
That is
No,
so
it was.
It's not a gag.
It's not.
No.
I made a tweet where I said spot the difference, and it was a screenshot of Don doing his reveal and then Frankie doing his reveal, because this is not the gag that y'all think it is. And it was even funnier because they were both in blue shirts and their arms were extended. Like, it was honestly a side-by-side comparison. Don't nobody give a damn who your brother is, who your sister is, who your cousin is. Obama is very much given. The girls don't watch Bad Girls Club.
Oh my God.
Megan said,
Obama stepped on
like, bitch, don't nobody give a fuck. Who are you? So I don't know what he thought that was doing. I don't even know, like, because he was saying he felt like he was in trouble, so he needs to drop this. But I don't feel like that's something that you drop to get in a better position.
Don, this might be a hot take. Don is so camp. He is so funny. He's terrible at this game, but he is so funny to me. Because what is he doing out here? Because what was like, my name's not Don Roberts, it's Don Rogers.
Like,
he slipped up.
The whole fake last name. Like, he really is filling the character, bitch.
And it's even funnier because he went to Mark. Did you play with my brother? Mark played like last season. Your brother played like 10 years ago.
He don't even know. Like, he don't even know.
He slipped up on episode 4 and was like Rogers. And I think it was Sally. Mind you, who the fuck is Sally? Sally was like, did you say Rogers? And he was like, oh, Roberts. She's like, I think you said Rogers.
I should have clocked that T right there because you definitely said Rogers, sir.
Also, they're not going to be threatened because they've met Don. Like, they at this point, they have. He could have said, "My brother is the host, David." They'd be like, "Oh, but you're Don, so it's okay."
And that's basically what Mark said. Mark said, "He's a dummy. I'm gonna be able to run him easily." So I'm happy that he shared this information with me.
Don is like what they want Joe to be on Survivor 50, but it's like not giving on Joe's end.
Because I'm like, Russell Hahn's brother didn't go on there and gag the live. It's like Russell Hahn's barely gagged alive. So I don't understand why he thought that this was some tea that he needed to withhold. It's just the external secrets. You already have to keep enough secrets in the game. Just tell these people who you are. Withholding that you're a lawyer and a doctor and you are a social media strategist. Like, nobody gives a damn. Just tell these people what you do. And I feel like that it allows people to get to know you easier. You already got a lie in the game.
I do think there's certain things, like maybe if I had a sibling who was on Survivor or something, I feel like I would want to keep it a secret, but maybe tell one person to see if the info gets out, to see who I can trust. I just feel like small secrets that I don't think really matter in the grand scheme, just maybe tell one person and see if it gets out. If it gets out, fuck that person now. Like,
only time
I was gonna say, I mean, we knew preseason that Don was not gonna be
Yeah.
the brightest bulb in the house. I mean, even just like judging of his little picture there, he's very tense. Like
It's a happy
like
old
we
man.
knew he was not gonna be this big survivor player like Matt Rogers. Like, and mind you, like you literally have two people who were on a past reality show who get out now back to back. Well, you just had Kat, and now everyone knows that Johnson played in Big Brother, so now everyone's after him. What makes you think that it's gonna reduce your threat level if you say that your brother is Matt Rogers? Like,
Literally.
where, like, I don't know.
The
He's an
returnees going
absolute
home,
mess.
the other game players going home, girl.
Yeah.
Like,
Girl,
Yeah, because I'm like, you either come out with that information or you just keep it a secret. At this point, you've already withheld it, so you lied. Either way it goes, you lied for them for 8 days. You can lie for them for 30 more. Like, it really doesn't matter. And as in the mind of the contestant, if I'm on your tribe, it's like, well, I mean, girl, you already lied to me, so you coming clean does nothing for me. Especially when you coming clean to the group, like you were saying, it would mean something different if you came to me individually, like with Mark, where he comes to him first, and it's like, okay, you want to build something, but you telling the whole tribe that I can't do nothing with that
at all. At all. Like he tells them to write next episode. I'm like, what was the point of holding it? Whatever. The thing is, he knew as soon as he touched down that island, he was gonna tell somebody, bitch. Like that was not gonna be a secret for the long. Like he was itching to tell somebody this damn
He only
secret.
said it because he forgot his fake last name. He's like, I can't keep this up. It's eating me alive.
But why did you choose something so close to your last name? Roberts and Rogers? Why was it like Samuels or something? Like,
And that just
of
shows
course
the
you're gonna
level of
slip
game
up.
player. But we see Barren, they lose the reward, and back at the tribe, we see that Mark is like, Brooke, Faith, and Keely are my big alliance. And he's like, I want to add a shield to that in someone like Don. He speaks to Don about them creating a duo, and Don is like, I want to bring in Caleb. And they form the Corn Chip Mafia. Now, the name is given
I live for it.
funky.
I
I don't like the name. It's given
It
funky.
sounds dirty.
It sounds real
Don
stinky and dirty.
Don loves the Corn Chip Mafia. Let's just say that.
I love it because Mark's a confessional be like, we're the Corn Chip Mafia. Okay, I guess. Like I just love that.
Yeah.
I like the dumb names, like because now production's forced to like say these names.
I love that they name it in general. Survivor US needs to name alliances more. Like, let's get that.
Bro, they even name like operations to get people out. Like Caleb
Operation Weasel,
Operation KBC, Crazy But Cautious. Like, what are all these operations?
I need to know if this is the producers doing or if they just do this in like Survivor. Like, if
I
the producers,
think they just do this.
I feel like they do too.
Because Operation Weasel and Operation Crazy But Cool, that just feels too natural.
You think of the TLC, bitch?
Crazy, sexy, cool.
Crazy but cautious.
Crazy but cautious.
Crazy with a K, by the way.
Right.
But yeah, I love it. I agree with you, Lee. Every time they were saying Corn Chip Mafia, like I was smelling it. Like I was smelling feet that have been in shoes without socks, you know,
for
like,
2 days.
Yeah.
Where are we going with the
My favorite alliance name was Johnson and Friends because I would feel so disrespected if I was in an alliance called Johnson and Friends.
Like, and
They
friends?
said we have 12 people in this tribe. Like, we can't keep up with all the names. Just friends.
And then Caleb does mention how he wants to play in between two sides because at this moment there seems to be Johnson and friends, and then Mark has his little group or whatever, and he's like, well, I'm going to play between both. You know, I'm going to be crazy but cautious. I'm not on the Caleb train yet, but I do like that y'all like him.
I like his
Somebody got
I'm not
him.
either. I think it's a little bit annoying at points, but he'll bring the entertainment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like a more strategic. I know we all probably forgot about him. He seems like a more strategic Daniel from this season, like that kind of erratic energy, but a little bit more devious and more strategic, like that kind of erratic energy. I like it, and like I was saying, when it came to like that 6th episode, seeing how he behaved. Seeing how he behaved in the tribal that wasn't his, and then seeing how he behaved in his tribal was like, okay, So he's here to have fun. He's here to ham it up, but he also understands what's necessary in order to make it further. So I like him. I find him entertaining. He's not over. Well, he is over the top, but like I say, he can pull it back.
Yeah.
I might get dragged for this, but he kind of reminds me of David's first season where he was kind of just doing shit. Like, and David was just kind of having fun out there. He's in the confessionals, hamming it up. And then he's did too much shit where he gets sniped out early merge. Just, I can see that projection for Caleb.
So could Caleb one day be the host? The crazy but cautious host?
You know, he would have fun as the host.
Okay, so how do y'all feel about Johnson? Because watching Johnson, I feel like he highlighted the main issue that Big Brother players have with transferring over to different games. He just filibusters. He's too heavy-handed. It felt like I was watching somebody play in the Big Brother house.
Yeah. He wasn't adaptable or fluid, and he couldn't read the room. But I also feel like, you know, for the most part, when he played Big Brother, it was like the active players. I mean, we see in this, even in the last season for US, the active players make shit happen, and people look to them for guidance and end up following them. It was just he happened to be on a tribe with Mark, and there can only be one big dog on that tribe. But I feel like other than that, because like if he's in a different group of these like people that are kind of more followers, I could still see him at least getting to like swap or, you know, first half of the game.
Yeah, I didn't see his Survivor Australia game, so I don't have much knowledge on that. But I agree with you, Dave. It felt very Big Brother-y in a Survivor-esque game. It's like it almost seemed like he didn't understand the power in numbers aspect almost, because it didn't seem like he was making too many good connections, or he was making so many connections that it was obvious that all of them were fake, you know, and like he didn't seem to like expand on those. Like, I'm like, did he think he had more time? Because Survivor is very fast paced. Like, it just feels like he was moving at a snail's pace as opposed to someone like Mark. Like, Johnson kept saying that he wants to go after Mark. Well, if you want to do that, you need to be building structures, not playing in Mark's face all day.
I think it's the opposite. I think Johnson is doing a little too much with socializing with people. Like the thing is with like a tribe of 12, again, like you can't socialize with everybody 24/7. You have to pick and choose, and that's what Mark is doing. Like I don't see Mark necessarily having this game and social relationship with someone like Blanche or with Ben. So
girl,
you have to
does
pick and
anybody-
choose your group.
Who's that?
Wait, what?
I said, does anybody? I don't think anybody got a game relationship with Blanche or Ben.
Well,
Hey, Ben,
Well,
I
it seemed
mean,
like Johnson did,
Johnson's
but that's why I was like
alliance.
we saw early on that he kind of had that montage of talking to everybody. But since then, it feels like it's only been with Ben, Blanche, and then Sally was a part of that. But then he even lost Sally. So I'm like, what is Johnson doing? All that?
It's probably because after the Cat tribal, like everything, Johnson mentioned this in his exit interview, like when Cat exposed everything on the table at tribal council, that's kind of where Johnson's target level was just so high that like people felt like they couldn't really work with him on a game level. That's why Faith, I think, gets super frustrated with Johnson at one point, because she's trying to save him, but it's like to her it seems like he's very like erratic in his behavior. I didn't get that sense too much in that moment that Johnson was doing too much. That was a little bit, I don't know. I didn't necessarily understand what Faith was talking about in that moment, but I mean in general you can tell that people are not getting Johnson really.
He also talked in his exit press. He says he doesn't know if people ever gave him that chance to know him because they knew he was on Big Brother and he was known as this like gamer. So people might have been more standoffish with him.
Well, it seemed like people were pretty open, and then he started doing a lot. Because at the end of the day, if you see someone talk to everybody named Mama, or like no one's gonna want to trust that.
I do think part of that also is on Big Brother, we can go talk in a different room, close the door. Nobody's gonna know what this conversation was or that it happened. On Survivor, we're on an island. We kind of see you. There ain't no doors. There ain't no walls. Like I see you. We just left the conversation, and you immediately went to someone else. Like I could tell.
I also feel like on his season of Big Brother, there were people that he just naturally was cool with, that they got along on a personal level, and he just ended up squatting up and kind of running the shit from behind the scenes. And doing too much was embraced in that group, whereas here, obviously, I think like that whole conversation with Faith clearly a lot happened before that, right? Like this edit cannot tell us the whole story. So I feel like he was probably pestering her like either all day or for days at a time or for hours about, oh, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? Is it me? Are you sure it's not me? Oh, who, and that's just he can't. I mean, he admitted in one of the confessionals, he's like, I just can't help myself. Like this is just the player I am. So it's like either someone's gonna embrace that, pick it up, use him as a shield, or he got to go.
How did y'all feel about that Mark and Johnson conversation where Mark calls him out and Johnson's stuck, girl, looking like that meme of that girl in court? He was like,
It was Blanche. It was Blanche.
That
I
didn't
can't
happen.
believe he
That
threw
didn't
Blanche
happen.
under the bus so quick. I'm like, damn, you don't give a fuck about Blanche.
My favorite part of that is Ben just standing there not giving a fuck. And then he's like, Ben, it was Blanche, right? And Ben's like, yeah.
What is Ben
He was not
doing?
listening to it.
besides
Ben-
looking hot?
He's a challenge beast, and that's all he's here for.
Comp beast, yeah.
Girl, I mean,
No.
if he gonna wear that Speedo, he can stay.
Ben, it makes me laugh.
No,
'cause
Johnson looked good.
before this drop, they posted Ben and Jackson's intro package on Instagram. So we got Jackson's intro package in like episode 4. I'm like, okay, Ben will probably get it at some point. He did not get his intro package at this drop. Why did they post that?
They were setting that man up.
I mean, I'm trying to wonder what his trajectory will be. Like, I don't see anybody targeting him because, I mean, maybe just for the individual immunity of it all, but it's just like, who are, like, honestly, Ben, Blanche, and Sally, I'm getting nothing from them. And again, they haven't gone to tribal like that, but I feel like even if they did go to tribal, I still wouldn't see it for them. Maybe
One
I
of
would
them
see
are
it for
going out
Sally.
in the swap. At the very least, one of Ben, Blanche, or who else? Probably even Tez. One of them are gonna go out in the swap. I believe so, with what
Yeah.
edit they're getting. Because usually, I mean, especially for Ben's archetype, like these people usually get out like right before the merge because they're like, ooh, we can't keep a big physical threat in the merge. So they get them out either right before or right at the beginning. Last season, I believe it was right at the beginning because they got rid of Jesse, who they thought, oh, he's kind of a
I-
physical guy, but he's also on the outs. So that's kind of like Ben.
I also think Kaylin from last season has people like Ben or maybe even like Cameron from the other tribe where it's like there's like physical guy. It's like they are kind of fucked. Like I feel like the Kaylin just won like 7 immunities or something. I think that's gonna be on people's minds for these like big physical guys.
Okay.
And
How do
then
y'all
we
feel?
get to
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we do get to the immunity with the Barren tribe. They end up winning. Asha, of course, uses her advantage, and that's when Laws and Caleb switches. And then we basically get to episode 6, essentially, because they also won a reward as well. But what were you going to say, Dave?
Oh, no, I was just going to start talking about Tez. I feel like Tez is a very interesting person on this tribe. I feel like he kind of was taking up that Caleb mantle, but a little bit more maybe sneakily. But I mean, we see that during this episode, during episode 6, he kind of is getting caught up a little bit. So where do y'all see Tez going?
I have no idea what Tez.
We barely hear from him.
Yeah, like
one
Unfortunately,
confessional.
Unfortunately, home. Like I don't know.
Like we
Yeah.
don't know what he's thinking.
Well, I mean, I believe, okay, so from what I'm gathering with Tez's game, because I've been trying to keep up with like Twitter and all that, and then also I think what was really helpful was Kat's interview last week, because she revealed obviously that her and Tez were close, and notice
Yeah.
how Tez actively wanted to join those group conversations at Tribal, the second one. And he eventually voted out Kat, who was, his number one, of course, but she already had all the votes going towards her at that point. So he needed to kind of blend in. Now, that could be why people are like, ooh, he's a weasel. Like, he was close to Kat, flipped on her very easily. He's very sneaky. Like, he's kind of playing both sides, it seems, because he does eventually vote for Dawn this episode, which makes you think he's playing both sides. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to do for him. That's why I was like, he could be out in the swap if they're like, we got to get him out of here. Like, they're going to get him out of there. So, I don't know. I don't think it's looking good for him, though.
No,
I do like that
unfortunately.
he's working with Mark a little bit here. Mark asks Tez out of nowhere, like basically who he wants to go home. Tez says Johnson or Don, and he's like, "I believe I'm being tested," and it's his strategy essentially to gather information and eventually use it against people. Now, I've heard so many people say that's their strategy in like social strategy history, so I'm interested to see how it's going to work out. But I do feel like he's in a spot where it's like, people may continue to try and use him. And some people are able to work from the bottom at a pace that can still get them a lot of respect in the game. And if he has that finesse, it could be really interesting to see. Right now, I'm not getting that only because we're not getting a lot of him at all in the Edgic. So it does make it feel like he's just going home. But I did like what we kind of got in this episode.
His position kind of gives me like Miles from last year without all the idols, where it's like I don't think people really respected him. He was like no one's clear number one in the early games, and eventually Miles saved himself with idols and was able to get that positioning. I just don't know. Tez doesn't have an idol, so who knows how it's gonna work out.
But Miles also had confessionals and was actually having fun. Tez,
well, Tez might be having fun.
I mean, maybe we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're just not getting much from this tribe in general. I mean, we're getting a lot of Don, we're getting a lot of Mark. We were getting a lot of Johnson and then Caleb because he was over. But I mean, girl, I wouldn't even been able to realize that Brooke was a returner. I kept having to remind myself. I was like, wait, who was returning? Who was returning? It just doesn't have that returner energy to me.
Did Brooke do this in her previous seasons where she's like really quiet in the beginning?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, is this she?
Well, no, yeah. In season 1, they definitely she was edited out. It was more so her duo partner who got more of the screen time at first, but then towards the merge, she kind of got more edited into the show. Same thing with All Stars at the beginning. She was definitely there. You could tell she was there, but they didn't want to edit her until a little bit later, where it's kind of more necessary. But yeah, she's definitely more of a quieter player in general. She definitely said this time around she wants her alliances to be more low-key. I think that's why she's all on her own on the top left, because we have no idea who exactly. We know she's with Mark, but who else is she close with? She's not making it too obvious, which could work out for her. I don't know.
I'm hoping it does because I still really do like her. Yeah. But it does get really interesting because Faith becomes concerned with Mark's connections. She chats with Keely and they're talking about going after Tez, mainly because he is seen as a floater and he is possibly running information back to Mark, and they do Operation Snuff the Weasel. Now, I thought that was really interesting how fast she flipped on him. She's like, I want to connect with people like Ben and Sally because Mark hasn't gotten close with them. We see Keely. She goes to work on Sally and she offers a 3 with her and Faith. They kind of get started on that. And people are iffy with Keely and Faith a little bit, we see throughout the episode, because they are so close with Mark. But, Keely is trying to reassure Sally that that's not really the case. I want him out. And Sally is like, well, I'm down then. I want to go after them as well. So because we saw Keely mention it in the last drop, but I didn't think Faith, I remember saying that, I did not think Faith would be keen to flip on Mark, but it seems like she, doesn't give a damn. But I kind of like seeing what I was seeing with Faith. At first I was like, hold on, is she dumb? But I don't know, seeing her work her magic a little bit, I was kind of feeling it, and then at the end of the day, Mark still got what he wants. So I was like, girl, you ain't sitting on shit.
Yeah, I guess that's what Lottie did to Harry. She took out Paula to try to get Harry closer to her and weaken Harry. But I guess Mark has too many people. He doesn't just have a Paula. He has a whole fucking army.
Yeah. No, it's very scary seeing Mark because it feels like he just got too much dip on his chip. He really it's giving Boston Rob, he has too much control, and I just feel like eventually it's going to crumble down. Maybe he gets out of it because of tribe swap and he's able to regain control, but it just felt like it was he was saying it, his hands were in every pot, and although that can be good, I feel like it rarely is. It usually catches up with you. You have to commit to some direction eventually. And Mark just seems like he's going to get very overzealous and overplay and overcommit. and I think that's gonna cost him.
I could see this tribe swap being bad for him. No shade. I could.
Now that I think about it, this is kind of where he was at his first season, Titans vs. Rebels. He's running that tribe. He has all these alliances, all these sides, and then the swap happened, and he lost all of his allies because everyone started realizing what he was doing because he was doing too much.
Yeah. I do also want to say it's time for Survivor Australia to switch it up a little bit, only because I don't like that they all knew a swap was coming because they kind of gamed around that. I don't want them to be able to game around adjustments in the season. So
They
like,
might change it. You never know.
Yeah, they could go to 3 tribes. No.
Well,
I love
don't
when they
think so.
sent the 3 tribes. No shade. It was cute when we didn't get 3 tribes shoved in our throat every season, but Survivor Australia, I think, could do it right. No shade.
No, you brought up a good point, Lee. I think they definitely don't want them to game around it, which is why like that kind of makes me excited if we get another season, which crossing our fingers that we do, um, they might change it up a little bit and they might be like, well, we might do like a surprise swap in week 2, maybe extend the original tribes for 3 weeks instead and add maybe a little mini swap that like you swap 2 people out. Like, I don't know. They might change it up a little bit there. So that's at least a positive, I guess, that they might not stick to it this exact format every season.
Well, we know
Wow.
Survivor Australia is used to changing things up, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, yeah, they didn't do a non-limb on episode 5. That's a huge surprise. We had it for the last 3 seasons, damn near.
Thank God. Shit.
I also don't hate like where Brooke is at. I know she didn't get as many confessionals. It seems like we're not getting her full strategy, but I think she knows Mark has too much dip on the chip, and so she's like staying connected. But I think the fact that like Faith and Keely went to her to try to pull her into their plan is a good sign. It means that she could jump to that side if shit gets messy for Mark, or if it doesn't work out in the tribe swap for her, or she can stick with Mark and he'll be a target in front of her. So, and I also feel like they're not gonna like long term. They already took a shot at trying to weaken Mark, Faith and Keely. I don't see them just stopping and being like, all right, well, we tried and it was Johnson, so now we should just give up. Like that's just gonna grow and grow and grow. So it'll be interesting.
And then we see back at the tribe, Barren loses immunity, and we see back at the tribe that Mark is talking with Tez, Caleb, and Don about voting out Johnson. Don mentions that he's willing to be used as a smokescreen, so Mark then goes to Johnson and is like, well, Don is throwing out your name, and Johnson is like, well, me and you need to vote on the same page tonight. Like, it does not need to be any dissension between us. Do we feel like in this moment Jonathan was being real with Mark? Do we think that Johnson really wanted to work with Mark?
I think he was. I think he was actually being honest and genuine, but it just didn't feel convincing, which is so weird. But again, that was that big brother coming. I felt like in this conversation particularly, it felt so just, I feel like sometimes big brother conversations have a way of being ingenuous. That even though if they're telling the truth, there's they're kind of putting on, and it felt like Johnson was really putting on and trying to convince him, which of course that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to convince him that you're working with him, but you don't want it to feel like you're trying to convince him that you're working with him. And that's what it felt like. He was trying to convince him that he was working with him, and he could, be telling the truth. And I do think he was. I think he realized it was more advantageous for him to work with Mark than it was to work against. But he knew he had messed up, and he knew that he had to course correct. And it was just so see-through that it was hard to kind of buy into it.
Yeah.
Johnson confirmed in the exit interview that, and this is going to be a huge thing, this is very similar to Lottie, because again, like Paula and Harry said that they could tell Lottie was this really good, masterful player, but they never thought of taking her out because they thought they could work with her. With Mark, like Johnson saw how much pull Mark has on these people, on Caleb, on even Tez, on Don, on Brooke. Like he has all these people, and that's why Johnson in this moment is like, okay, well, I can't work against Mark because I'm gonna go home like 100%. My coffin is shut at that point, nailed shut. So he has to now work with Mark, and that's what we see here. He's trying to get on his side to at least survive a little bit longer. So it does seem like Mark has this chokehold on everybody, and people might be like either too afraid to flip, or they just feel like, oh, well, I can trust Mark. We're actually in a solid alliance. So that's kind of what's going on here, I think.
Yeah.
It is kind of giving Boston Rob there, and then Lottie is kind of giving
Yeah.
like a mini Suri a little bit. I wrote on my notes Johnson's game was over when Mark pressed him and gagged him. Like that was
Yeah.
it. Like if I came to you and I tried to confront you straight up face to face and you were just crickets and you were a hot mess, like I can't trust you. Game over.
Yeah.
No, lied, and then I pressed you more, and then you were gagged. Like, no, that wasn't me. And then I was like, no, but it was. And you're like, okay.
And then
And
2
it
days
was
later,
so obvious that he was just caught up.
Yeah.
and then 2 days later, be like, I really want to build some trust, mate. Like it's like, come on,
Girl.
it's over.
So, and like
Hang it
one
up.
of their combos, Mark's like, I think Blanche isn't targeting anymore. I think we can work past this. And John's like, yes, we can work past this. Blanche isn't targeting you anymore.
And then we get into Faith and Keely. They chat about Operation Weasel. Faith is saying that it needs to happen now with Tez because he will be someone who flips in the tribe swap. And Keely is like, well, I feel the same way about Caleb. And I was like, ooh, Keely clocking. No shade. Keely was clocking down this episode a little bit. And they decide when Sally pulls up, they're like, who should we do? Who do you feel like is more dangerous? And she's like, Caleb. Caleb needs to go. And the three of them are like, well, bet. Caleb needs to go. Let's get on it. We're going to get the girls. We're going to have us three, Ben, Johnson, and to vote on Caleb. And Keely goes and she pitches this plan to Johnson. Johnson immediately does not believe the pitch. He is like, I have to go fact check, basically. I'm like, okay, Davon, girl, sit down. So Keely's like, Sally, you go talk to him and try to figure out what's tea. So Sally chats with Johnson and she's like, go with Keely's plan. And Johnson is still like, well, I gotta check out the numbers. Like, what's going on? I have to go check what the numbers. It's like, sir, do you want to stay in the game or not? Damn,
that's that big brother shit right there. He couldn't get out of his own way. He couldn't get out of his own way and just be like, anyone but me, right? Like at that point, lean into anyone but me. And I feel like his ego probably got in the way too.
Because by the time he gets to Faith is like, girl, I know you. I'm not the first person you talk to, so you already know what the fucking plan is. Go with the plan, like Faith.
Bro,
Faith was so.
She's like, stop talking. Why are you so loud? Hold on. No, what you need to do is stop talking to me. No, talking is gonna get us in trouble. What are you doing? Like, she was over his bitch ass. Like, why are you talking to me right now?
We really need live feeds because there's no way this is the first time this conversation happened. There's no way
it's been going on for like days.
When she said you talking too loud, I was like,
it's kind of giving like sibling, right? Like an older sibling being like, "Shut up! I'm like, we've been down this road for years. Like, I'm tired of your shit."
Oh my god, wait. Faith reminds me of Zara from last season. Like both of them were so open when they hated somebody. Like Zara hated AJ and Miles. Like she could not contain herself. And that's exactly what Faith is doing.
Girl, I thought you was talking about Zara Lawson.
Bye. Eric in the chat says, I watched Johnson's podcast and we see the episode Faith end up telling Brooke, who told Mark eventually, which I figured that we just didn't see that tea because Brooke was so close with Mark.
Yeah.
But the next thing, they got too comfortable. Like Sally told Tez the real plan. She's like, it's an insurance policy in case we need his vote. Girl, his vote was not needed. You should have just left it alone. Like, please. So Tez immediately goes to Mark and he's like, well, am I not part of the real plan? Like, what's happening? What's going on? And Mark is like, well, no, you are in the real plan. Like, what's happening? Who told you otherwise? And he's like, well, no one told me anything. I just overheard. And it's like, Tez, you can't bring someone information and did not want to tell them where it came from. Like, that's just going to look sus on you, baby. Like, that whole conversation, Tez looked suspicious as hell. I would have voted his ass out. Because, like, what's going on? And he's like, I overheard there was another name, but, you know, I don't want to say who it was or who was talking about it. And Marcus like, well, there is no other plan. Like, there's only one plan unless I'm not aware of something. And it's like, this is where I'm like, I like Tez because I love a super fan that really loves the game. But it's like, I feel like he should have clocked in right here. Yeah. You are privy to two of the plans happening right now. And you go straight to Mark and it just dies from there. It's like, okay, sir, like Tez could have been a pivotal person in this move.
Yeah.
Whatever he decided, or he could have made his own move, but it just goes nowhere. And I'm just like, Tez, baby, what is your role in this season?
Yeah, I feel like you either have to tell Mark everything straight up, or you have to not tell him at all. You can't
And sneak
do
it,
the middle.
yeah,
Because we, from that, like someone in the chat said, now Mark knows that there was this plan for Caleb, and he's gonna remember that Tez kind of half-assed it, didn't give them all this info. So now he might have this in his mind. Tez was more in the plan than he really was. Like Tez really wasn't part of it. He just got kind of told of it.
Yeah. I mean, this happens a lot in these games where people are like, well, I just got some information. I can't tell you everything, but here's a little snippet. And I part of me understands it where you don't want it to come back to you, right? Like you don't want it to blow up in your face. They go on a whole little fact checking spree, and now the girls are like, why are you spilling my tea? So you do have to be cautious with information, but that's precisely it. You have to be cautious, so you have to really be smart about it. If this is somebody that you really want to work with, you just have to give them that information. Or if you don't want to give them all the information, you have to phrase it in a way to where it feels like you're giving everything that you know. So instead of, oh, I can't tell you that, maybe I didn't get all this information, this is all that I was told. It seems, you just have to tweak it a little bit to where it doesn't feel like you're withholding information. And I feel like that's people's biggest downfall. And this is where it's like, yes, you don't want to give them all your information because you don't want it to blow up in your face, but you also need them to feel secure with you. And like Mark was saying, if your only purpose is to give me information and you're not giving me information, then unfortunately you're disposable.
Yeah, literally.
Crazy but cautious.
And then we do get to the tribal council. I didn't like the tribal council, especially for this move. Like I thought everyone was being way too coy. Like, girl, put it on the floor. We're at the tribal council.
It was giving US
tribal. And then the biggest thing was Brooke pulling out her idol. And like I said, I didn't realize that, Theodore corrected it in the Discord that the rule was she had to use it before a swap, which another reason why I don't like how predictable it was that a swap was coming, because why would you make a twist that can only be played until the swap? Like, I don't like that at all. At least merge.
I don't know if it was necessarily predictable. It's just like when they were standing on their mats and they like did the wide shot and you saw the two tribes next to each other. I mean, one was very noticeably bigger than the other. So it's not like, okay, we're at this point.
They're going based off of previous seasons though. Like this season could have went out anyway, and this round they would have said a swap was coming. Because I saw it last season.
They always swap. Yeah, they always swapped at like the 7th round of the game. So that could either be 18 or 19 people, depending if they do a non-elimination. So that's kind of where the sort of they're working around production here and figuring out, okay, they might do it this next round because that's technically week 3 of the show.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking it was just like them trying to even out the numbers. But I haven't, again, this is only my second Australia season, so I don't really know the logistics of it. But okay, that makes sense.
Girl, you should be watching. You should watch back like the other seasons. They're so good. You should be part of like the whole campiness of the show.
I do. I do need to go back and watch back. And Survivor is a lot easier to rewatch than Big Brother, so I'm gonna do it.
Theodore put everybody on Survivor Australia, baby.
It's great.
It's a great franchise.
I do want to mention now. This is something that we were not told on the episode at all, and I'm kind of like a little bit like surprised that they didn't show this, but. Let's go back to the idol swap. Do you guys remember how Brooke was like, this was the worst idol swap in history? And we all thought, okay, but at least no one noticed, right? Well, somebody noticed. And
who noticed?
Was it Johnson?
Johnson noticed. He kept that to himself until this round when he was in trouble. He went to Brooke right before Tribal Council and basically said, hey, look, I know you have the idol. I saw you swap it with Brooke, with what's her name? Lindell. And I think you could really gain a trustful ally here. I'm a type of person who, if you save me, I'm going to go to bat for you every single round. And he said, use that idol on me tonight because I think I'm going home. And I will be loyal to you from now on. I will fight for you. I will be a shield for you. All this stuff just for Brooke. but it seems like it didn't make the edit because it didn't really matter in the end. I guess Brooke just didn't trust Johnson enough, and they would rather. I don't know what the edit was doing
But
with her.
I feel
making
like
her
it
look
would have
stupid.
it would have added tension if they would have added that in, because
Yeah.
when she gets
Yeah.
up, she even looks at the crowd, like at
Yeah.
the everybody that said tribal. So it could have been like, oh my god, is she gonna
Yeah.
play it for Johnson? I think that could have added. I don't know why they kept that out. That seems like
Yeah.
a really
I
good
guess
moment.
I guess because they just wanted us to think that it could have been Caleb. And if they showed that moment with Johnson,
Yeah.
maybe they thought, oh, they might predict that Johnson is actually the one going home. Because why else would he need the idol, right? If we
Yeah.
think that Caleb is going.
Yeah, because
So
I
they
was
just
like,
wanted to gag us with that.
I was like, there's like a 40% chance it could be Caleb tonight. So they were
Yeah.
there. But can we talk about? I mean, we already talked about Dom, but him basically volunteering for the block, like that. I get that you're on the bottom, but bro, you don't
That
have
doesn't
to
surprise
say
me.
like let me be the smoke screen. I'm just like, this is such bad. Like him.
I
and
will be the
Lindell-
smoke screen for you guys.
Yeah, him and Lindell's gameplay. This drop just.
Him
Yeah.
and Lindell are the opposite of like bad players. Like I don't know how to explain. Like one knows they're at the bottom, but like stays there, and one thinks they're at the top, but they're really at the bottom.
In denial.
Yeah, no, and that's basically a wrap. She plays her idol on herself, and Johnson goes home, which I'm kind of gagged by. I thought from what we were seeing, he could be someone that would last a while, because at least he was like actively playing the game. But man, it is what it is.
I think the most annoying thing or the most cringy thing about Brooke's idol play is the pulling out and wearing it. Like if she would have just pulled it out at the end and was like, hey girl, like I got this is the last time I can play it. Like she just made it so much of a moment. Like I'm going to pull this out of my bag. And it's like, girl, you wasn't really in danger. So the theatrics of it didn't land.
Like she thought she was gagging the lives like so bad. And I'm just like,
she saw Ferris 2 seasons ago. It was like, I gotta be like,
it wasn't anywhere near what fucking Rizzo was doing last season. So that's
at least
on
Rizzo,
the
for some of them, he was kind of in danger.
That was okay. Okay.
Well, Ferris did it better.
Ferris, want to talk about cringe.
Ferris did a whole whoop, took the sweater off. The idol was there.
Ooh. I wanted to stop here.
That shot, wow. Let's not get into that. We can go ahead and tier rank the girls. Starting with Faith, she was at the bottom. Do we feel the need to move her?
Ciao.
I mean, Chow for Operation Weasel, if anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't executed.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, girl, you kind of still a chop.
I don't compared to other people on this tribe. At least she's moving and shaking
right?
and challenging Mark's power. Like
I think she's moving.
I had her in mid, honestly.
Okay, too much.
I feel like she would have earned mid. She would have got camp if the move went through. But the fact that it fully went out the window and then she just went with Mark's plan, I'm like, that's kind of chop.
Well, isn't she in Chop because of her Twitter activity? Isn't that why we have her in Chop?
That is why we had her in Chop.
Girl, what's she doing on Twitter?
She be following people.
She was following Charlie Kirk, apparently. That's what the streets are saying.
Girl.
But also,
she is Charlie Kirk.
No. Are you Charlie Kirk?
Dave, take a lap.
But we never talked about if they want to take this shot at Mark's side, they could have just voted Dawn. Like none of them, they could have just done that.
Yeah,
they just didn't do that. Like I
get
don't
the
know
corn
why.
chips out of here. One of them.
See, and I feel like in Mark's case, that's one of those situations. We'll get to it when we get to Mark.
And then Don, Chop.
But no, I
can't do camp. I can't do camp.
Yes. Camp is like you have to be doing good, but also giving something. And he's giving something, but he's not doing good.
That's not how I view camp. I view you're just making me laugh. I don't like this camp.
And he's not making me laugh. He's giving me kind of like secondhand embarrassment. Like
him saying it's not Roberts, it's Rogers is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
But we're gonna like forget about that. You know what I mean?
I won't forget about it.
Okay.
But
I just feel upset at him because how do you have a brother like Matt Rogers and you're like trying to make that be such a big moment, but you don't watch the past seasons? You think Mark played with Matt Rogers? What are you on, sir?
Wow, Brooke did
what
play with him.
Did you watch? Did you see any seasons? Chop, honestly.
Girl, his brothers.
Chop, but it's so funny.
I also say Johnson is a chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, at least he tried to stand up to Mark and build something with all these peripheral players.
Dee.
He
It
tried.
didn't really go anywhere.
It's more than some of these people. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
At least these people are active.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next up on the docket, we have Richard, Purple Kelly
Stay.
Asylum.
Yeah.
Right.
He can say right where he at.
Yeah.
Next, we have Sally, which she's a part of Operation Weasel,
Maybe
but
that's the face.
It's
I
kinda
feel like
giving
she's still a
child.
Purple Kelly Asylum.
Purple Kelly.
Like, I don't think she moved from that for me.
No.
Next would be Tez, No Shade,
I'll
Purple
give
Kelly
him child.
Asylum.
Well, he had
I
a
would
little
say
bit
child
more. Yeah.
because
What?
at least we know.
We gotta take a vote on this one.
No.
Purple Kelly Asylum, raise your hand.
Yeah. Yes. We know. I feel like we know more about Sally than we do Ted.
Yeah.
Girl.
we
Oh,
know.
y'all lying. Y'all don't know shit about Sally.
We don't know
He's
shit about
Tez.
Tez
I
didn't
know
stand on
more about
business.
Tez than Sally.
Tez didn't stand on business when he spoke to Mark, and that to me is Purple Kelly.
Like I want to root for Tez, but we don't get anything. The show isn't giving us Tez. Like at least we know Sally has that girls' alliance that she did try to do something. Tez is they just tell us he talks.
What? I think I was just thinking like Sally, sure, she can be in Purple Kelly because she's not doing anything actively bad, but she's also not doing anything actively that great. But Tez, I mean, low key, his wonkiness like is kind of actively like it's giving child to me.
It's-
Like at least you're giving or
Agreed.
maybe chop. I don't
This
know.
is a stretch.
I'm feeling child because it like he's in the edit. We're hearing things people are targeting him, but it's also just like, girl, like
Dave, we got outvoted. They already voted Purple Kelly.
just vote,
Yeah,
just
it was
vote,
two votes.
Just
It's all
vote.
good.
Just vote.
I know already.
Caleb, what y'all think?
Camp.
Camp.
Yeah,
See, I figured y'all were gonna say Camp. I'll let y'all have it.
he
I'll
had
let
his
y'all
good
have
3
it.
episodes.
Yeah.
All right, child.
And he didn't-
Paula.
I kind of want to say
Child.
Chop.
Child.
I mean, she kind of went out in the Purple Kelly Asylum. No shade.
Yeah, I would keep her.
Ain't no
in.
way she did.
Purple
Yeah.
Paula.
Purple
They
Paula
saw her.
Asylum.
They saw her as a threat. So I don't know.
What about Laz?
She's
Purple
staying.
Kelly.
Okay, Laws is kind of camp. Is it just me?
Girl, you sounded like you sounded
Saying
like
anything,
Theodore
Dave.
now. You sounded like
Shut
Theodore
up.
now.
Like circumstantially, she's kind of camp. Like, why is she getting all these votes and she's not a threat? Like, it's kind of camp.
Girl,
Maybe she's a camp
Hey.
counselor, but I don't know about camp on the show.
what do we feel about
The
Simon?
reality
now?
show.
Oh,
Simon,
did we skip
uh,
Blanche? What happened to Blanche?
She's
Oh,
staying right there. She's
We'll put her
staying
at
right
like toward the bottom.
Oh
because we
my
don't know anything
god!
about it.
Oh, yeah,
Genuinely, I
put her-
skipped this lady.
Yeah, move her towards the end of Purple Kelly.
yeah. At least
Blanche
Richard has a
the Beast
nickname.
did not show up.
And then Simon mid.
I would
Mid.
say
Child. Oh, okay.
Mid.
No, mid. Yeah.
Like we're starting to see he has like some type of alliance with Lottie.
Yeah.
He's actually getting moments in the show.
He's
so-
playing. He's playing.
Jackson is mother. I'm
I
sorry.
have to give him Mother.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What?
That's my mother.
Why?
Really?
He had the
Episode
best
5
moment.
was really good because of him.
He had the best moment
I
of
would
the
say
season.
Camp.
Wouldn't that be Cam?
Yeah, I would say camp.
I think it's
I
the
think
best
he
moment of the
mothered that
season.
move.
I
Like no,
think he
that
mothered.
that gagged
You're
me.
saying on the same level as like someone like a Mart or
Yeah.
a
Girl,
What has
we
Mark
have Book and
done?
Mother.
Well, we'll get to her, but like Jackson and Mother for one episode only. Like
He
I
ate
don't
that
know,
one
he was
episode
a
up.
bit of a chop
That
on
was
episode
No.
4.
That
and
was
there
a kind of obvious move. in
Well,
my
okay,
opinion.
let's vote. Let's vote.
Oh, we're gonna get
raise your
outvoted
hand.
easy.
Girl,
We're
it's
gonna
a
get
mother
outvoted.
down.
Period.
What?
'Cause
That's-
I just-
That's a mother move. I don't care
the
what
chat
she
fan camp
say.
too. Oh well though, because
That's
y'all
an
been outvoted.
it's an obvious
The
move.
chat is on our side.
No.
Hey,
I'm getting
Uh,
flashbacks
Dave,
to
and Lee
Werewolf
are in the
games where
right
I was
side
on
of
the
history.
bottom of the vote like every single time.
The
Like,
chat's always on the right side of history.
Girl, well, you
Yeah.
got to get on the right
Ben-
side of the vote.
Ben is
Get with the
Kaya.
winning team.
Ben is Purple Kelly or something.
Is there a section for just hot as fuck?
what?
Hold on,
Brooke
hold on,
Ben
Dave, because this is
is.
the second time you done spoke on my man. Please keep it cute. I didn't say that the first
Girl.
time, but the second
Everybody,
time,
yo, man, girl. If it was up to you, you would be in a polygamous relationship, child.
Nah, I can't do polygamy. I'm too jealous. I'm too jealous because I'm gonna be like, why y'all sharing the bed together tonight and I'm not
That's
here?
weird. What if you are the main person and you just got a bunch of sister wives,
Maybe.
a bunch
that's
of brother
what-
husbands?
Is that what Mormonism is? I really don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, you just
many
finna
men on this
disrespect the whole
podcast?
Mormon religion, child. Oh my god.
I saw someone say that one time, and I was like, "Is that what it is?" I really don't know.
I think a lot of them
Sometimes.
do have multiple wives.
Don't they have multiple-
Like the old school. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know, but current day.
Yeah, it get down sometimes. I don't think all the Mormons are like that,
all.
but
Anyways.
escaping sister wives is a thing, child.
Child. Cameron, Purple Kelly.
Well, I was gonna say mid. 'Cause I feel like he doesn't get no confessionals,
Mid.
but he gets camp scenes.
He
and
got
we see him
zero
strategize.
confessionals.
But
Child.
we see him.
Yeah,
Like it's not like Blanche where we don't even see her on the
You
camera.
guys are about to. You guys are
Then
making
I would
me
just keep
remove
him in
these
mid
confessional charges.
then.
He's in the dominant alliance.
He seems to be the middle of the
Yeah.
dominant alliance too. Like he's kind of had. I don't know. I
Yeah.
might be making that part up.
And he's fine
He's
as
a
fuck.
He is fine
His
as
tribe
fuck.
is so amazing.
I don't
need
know.
to
His
Don't put him
tribe.
on-
We're talking about him.
Don't put him on no more
Well,
challenges.
yeah, but what makes a tribe amazing? It's the tribe members themselves, and Cameron
Agreed.
is part of that. Like he's
I also-
part of the
I-
campiness of
we
the
need a
tribe.
vote. We need
Also, I
democracy.
liked during the Jackson of it all. After it was over, Cameron goes, "That was the sickest shit I've ever seen."
No,
It was
Cameron
some
was
sick
gagging. He was gagging.
Exactly. So keep him in mid. There you go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Keely Camp. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She was tearing. I like Keely a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asha, y'all gonna be mad with me, but Purple Kelly.
No,
Girl, you just saying
No.
anything.
Girl, I'm not
you just
getting
saying
it.
anything.
I'm
'Cause
not-
that don't
like,
even
it's
make
actually in
sense.
the episodes. Like, it's
Purple
been,
Kelly,
In Women's History Month,
she's the third most edited person on her tribe. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
It's
Lee,
not
you're
like
talking
Cam-
about confessional counts, and now Cameron got 0, and that's why he's Purple Kelly. Asha got 4 or 5 confessionals this week.
she invited
Keep
Caleb
her in
over.
mid.
He's
Camp.
my mother.
She's camp.
She's
She's
my
camp for
mother.
me,
She kind of led the
actually.
Harry vote. Like
But-
that's
Look at
from
the
what we
look at the
saw,
chat.
that
Look at
was
the
what
chat.
she
Huh?
wanted.
Yeah.
What did the chat say?
Like, that is crazy.
What?
Please,
What the
not
Wait, how
not Mary talking about women phobia, not misogyny, misogynoir, women phobia.
Phobia.
She's not very not
But
wrong.
no, I think she's in mid still.
I would say
I-
camp.
I vote camp.
Camp for what?
Yeah.
She led the Harry. The Harry
That's
thing from our
3.
perspective
That's
was
3.
her move. Like that was like what she wanted.
Okay, camp is a lot, y'all. I'm not even gonna
We
lie.
get- I'm
Camp
bottom
is a
mid.
lot.
Voted.
I think
bottom mid.
I did, but I had to take it back because I was.
What are you, Ashley?
I got
Holly?
caught up.
We can't do that.
Is
We can't
her
do that.
gameplay like also camp because she's
I'm
low-key,
trying to
like
analyze the
controlling it?
Harry thing because I didn't really think about that from her perspective. But I mean, it feels like if anything, it was a cohorted effort between her and Cam.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to put
And
both of
who's
them
the
in
bigger
Purple
player of
Kelly?
the two?
Honestly, I mean, I just feel like her edit is not matching what y'all are saying about
Well,
her.
We love her, so
I like her too, but
I'm biased.
I'm not getting enough from her.
I'm
I
bottom
don't- what do
mid.
you want her to
I
do?
just
You
don't
want
see
her to
Purple
shake
Kelly.
her ass? Like
I want her to
That's-
really
that's
get
on
in the
production.
game.
That's on
she
production.
is in the
Is,
game.
That's the editors.
She's playing like the US game.
She'll
Oh
be
wait,
turning on Lottie soon.
that sounds like a diss, but I'm not dissing her.
Look
playing
at the
more
chop.
control game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Chop. What about Chow?
Chop.
She has an idol, right?
It's
But it's
expired.
expired.
now.
Oh, hers is expired too.
It better be.
Well, yeah, my theory was either she's going home next, and that's why they don't want to reveal that part of the idol thing. They want to make her look stupid, or she's just swapping onto the Barren tribe, and that's like an easy excuse for it to not work.
No, I hope they don't do that to her. Like she goes up there and plays that idol, and they're talking about it was expired. Like, oh, please,
I
no.
Now Harry got humbled. Oh, wait, hold on. We can do Lottie first. Lottie
Stays.
Oh, she said
stays
no.
her
That's
mother,
mother.
of course.
Mother.
Let me see. Harry, he got humbled on his way out.
I would say
Camp.
child.
I would say either
Ooh.
child or child.
I wouldn't
I-
say Chop. I'm
But-
okay with Chop.
I'm not even gonna lie because somebody had said it earlier in the chat. He was trying to get out. He was trying to get out somebody. Who was he trying to get out, y'all?
Richard?
He was trying to. Yes,
Linda and stuff.
he was trying to get out Richard, or Jackson. No, he was trying to get out. He was trying to blindside Jack. He was trying to do a lot of stuff, and it just never ended up coming to fruition. I think the only vote he really controlled was the first one, and then after that, he's just kind of been struggling to keep up.
But as a character, how many more interesting people are there besides like above Harry? Not that many.
Not many. Harry is my favorite Survivor AU player, and I said this in the preseason. I feel like he's either going to dominate this tribe or he was going to be out early, and he was out early. I think he's had his perception of Dirty Harry, and they talk about it in the show. They're like, "Oh, he's unloyal. He made it to the end both times, and none of his alliances there." That's just not true. Like that's just not true at all. At All Stars, he is like the merge vote, and all of his alliances go right after. And then his first season, he gets to the final 3 with his number 1 ally, and his number 1 ally just cuts him in the final 3. He's usually loyal to like his one person, like his little small group. He's loyal to them, and he plays dirty with everyone else and does all these crazy moves.
Yeah.
And then we have Mark, which I think should say in Mother.
That's Mother.
Yeah. Now Brooke got a drop.
Yeah, what was she doing up there?
Because she's Brooke.
Well, she was Mother week 1.
Yes.
Well, damn, don't do that to her.
It's kind of giving child. No shit. I'm gonna need to see.
Not too much.
No,
keep her.
Yes, that much. I'm gonna need to see what she does during this next drop because
no shame, me as well.
Because even though, like, just because you got an idol and it expires, don't mean you necessarily got to play it, right?
Well, I think.
I mean, you're right.
The swap, like if they had to swap idols, that I think it's just the risk of everyone knowing you have a idol. Yeah. So if she tries to do something insane, she has a fake idol. It can be like, "Oh, you found that on day 1." Lindo told all of us about it. So
it's an idol target.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this is the tier rank. We got Lottie, Mark, and Jackson outvoted in Mother. I know that's right. And baby, that's a wrap, child. We've been here for 2 hours. Let's go ahead and wrap this shit up. Getting to the Patreon this month in March, we'll be getting into some things. Me and Pharaoh exclusively on the Patreon. We already did our reality segment. We're going to have some Euphoria conversations. We're going to do our Kingdom's Choice, which is basically where if you're in the Patreon, you can vote on which topic you want us to discuss. So all the bitches that's been complaining and mad and all that other shit, join the motherfucking Patreon. It's only $3. Cheap. And you can get some exclusive shit and vote on what you want us to talk about, girl. It's not just reality TV over there. We can get into anything. So join the Patreon. Also get into the Reality Rewind. It is coming back up in May. One of these 10 shows will be covered. The link is in the description. Get your votes in, mama. There's like a 4-way tie happening, I believe, right now. So any show can still win. Also hop into the Discord. If you love seeing these people discuss and have fun and talk, get into the Discord because we all have fun in the Discord. We talk, we have fun, we laugh, we kiki. It's a vibe, mama. So join. The link is in the description. And baby, we're covering all types of shit. Okay, every Tuesday we have our Survivor Rewind and Big Brother Canada retrospective. Every Wednesday we have Survivor 50. Every Thursday we have the after show, which Pharaoh just did with Austin Lee Coons. Fine ass. Go check that out. Every Thursday, we'll be back with Survivor Australia coverage. Tomorrow, we're doing House of Villains and Fear Factor. Saturday is Summer House and Drag Race. And Sunday, we have Love is Blind and Baddies. So get into it all, mama. Every Tuesday, Pharaoh is dropping his scripted Kingdom content. He has a lot of new content coming out in March. So go and subscribe to that channel as well. And of course, as always, thank y'all for keeping it real with the Kingdom.
Happy birthday, Lee!
Thank you. I forgot, low key. But thank y'all for keeping it real with the Kingdom. We're out.
Yeah.